as in you're rolling recap.
Oh, so I'm rolling recap. Okay.
Oh, you're rolling recap. Okay.
I'll roll recap.
Okay. Okay.
Rebel again.
I wanted one.
4 instead of 1. We got the opposite of what you predicted.
Damn. It's because they knew if I roll it, we were gonna get 1.
I'll be in the peanut gallery this whole session. I'll see y'all later.
So where we last left off, we have been discussing stuff about like what was found in Barkley's room. So Toto doesn't leave yet. First, Quinn leaves to go talk to Leanne about an evidence locker. He finds Leanne at the bar, and he's like, "Okay, meet me in 1 hour at the guard station. We'll lock your stuff up." And then Quinn also has a nice chat with Chris at the bar. It's like, what the fuck did Barkley do to you to make you hate him so much? Meanwhile, back in the dorms, Erwin figures out how to read the journal. Unfortunately, Toto doesn't get to see this achievement because Toto is already out talking to Barkley. The only information I have about that conversation is in the thing that Garrett made. Apparently, Toto was flirting with Barkley. Anyways, then we all meet back up together and we're like, oh, here's how you read the book. That's pretty cool. We figure out that the reason Chris hates Barkley is because Barkley killed his like father figure, and this was about a year ago. However, it was also the last case. It was the last job that Barkley took on as a Dark Tribe dude. More information because like the writings in the journal get hysteric after that. So we go to turn in the evidence. The only other thing there is this piece of cloth that was found on Barkley's shoulder. It's part of the invisibility cloak. Woo! So now we get to go talk to Barkley. My voice just stopped working for a second. We talk to him. He hums this song that he heard on like the first day of school that evidently is a tune normally heard in like dark taverns. We can't figure out who was playing the song. Like, we're just not good at this. So we're ignoring that information for now. So we were like, bruh, why'd you leave your door open? And Barkley was like, well, I had a feeling something would happen. Well, how did he know something was going to happen, you may ask? Well, it's because he was planning on killing himself. And so he was like, I'm going to leave the door open for Toto so that he can like touch all of my stuff and get some answers. But also that morning, Fred had knocked on his door and was like, hey, do you have this book? And Barkley was like, no, I don't. Maybe you should go ask Erwin. He's a nerd. And Fred was like, oh, okay. But he never asked Erwin. And that's pretty sus. So we also have a conversation with him about the journal. We find out the reason he stopped doing jobs is because this dude, Night Shrieker, was after Barkley's crew. So he was actually after Gopher, but Night Shrieker didn't give a shit enough to like figure out which one of them was Gopher. So he was just like, damn, guess I'll kill all of them. Then Barkley was like, it's him. That's who you're after. And he's like, oh, thanks, bro. Guess I don't have to kill you now. So Barkley has a lot of survivor's guilt. And that's why he was thinking about killing himself. And then the prosecution shows up and it's like, hey, fuckers, get out. We need to talk to him now. So we leave. We swing by the evidence locker because Toto was like, I don't like that Barkley wanted to commit suicide. I'm going to go check out the evidence. Poke at the piece of fabric. Get nothing new from it. Because we've discovered that if you break something into a million pieces, you don't get a million shots at using Pathfinder on it. So now we get to go talk to Fred. Now Fred, he's acting kind of sus. Like, he's looking very red. He's hiding his room, like only opening the door a little bit. However, he's not very good at hiding the invisibility cloak that's on top of his laundry pile. So we're like, dude, what the fuck's up with this? Now, Fred doesn't remember where he got it, but, you know, he did it. He did the deed. He planted the evidence in Barkley's room. However, before doing that, like the night before, he has this whole blank in his memory and just like the compulsion to commit murder. So Quinn talks to Kino. It's like, hey, is this like a thing people could do? And she's like, Yeah, if you let me sleep, I'll tell you that Ted, me, Glorb, and Casper, like, any of those people probably could learn it, but, like, it's a very skilled thing. So Quinn's like, okay, good to know. Let's go check out the bar, because Toto's magical Pathfinder abilities figured out that, like, when he was handed the cloak, it was at the bar, and that's where it was, like, stuffed under his shirt. So we go to the bar. Friend remembers that when he was walking like around the school before his memory went blank, he saw Chris heading in the direction that Fred was coming from. So like they walked past each other, and he also saw like Ted and Casper or something. I don't know. He saw people while he was walking. But at the bar, the timeline went that the people arrived. Ted had been there a while. I think Casper showed up, and then Fred did a little bit after. But Fred doesn't remember going to the bar. But what happened while he was there is that he went into the bar. He talked to Court, and then he got drunk, and then he left. We got all this information from Court, who's a real pal and doesn't like that Ted's like one of our two main suspects now. But you know, she's still a real pal. Yeah, so we talked to her, and then we time skip to our pre-trial meeting where we catch Carter up because for whatever reason Carter hasn't been involved in this murder investigation, but like I feel like he's a good source. Like he's an observant person. We probably should have talked to him sooner. But it's fine because now it's trial time, baby.
All right.
That's my recap.
Maybe we should talk to the one NPC that has the most intelligence compared to everyone else.
Shut up.
Yeah. Yeah, that was smart.
Yeah.
It's
you know,
fine.
that was smart. That was smart.
So, before the trial, we'll say you guys had the little conversation, little team up meeting in the morning about what direction you want to go in. Again, I'll ask before the trial begins: is anyone doing anything?
I
Not
had
guilty.
already tried what I wanted to, and I didn't get anything else from it.
Or did
We're
you
going
try
for
last
not
time?
guilty, right, guys?
Oh, I had tried the last session. I had already tried to go back to him and see if I could get any memories about that night from him, and all I got was that he was drunk or something was fighting me while I was trying to look. Yeah, that's what I
Your
had
question, Sully?
Are we going for not guilty?
done. Yeah.
Yeah, we're going for not
Sully,
guilty.
you were here for the conversation. I'm using dealer to get a guilty plea, but a lesser sentence.
So you're asking a lot from dealer.
I hope you're kidding, because if not, I think it's time to reenact the opening of the second Ace Attorney game and beat you over the head with a bat.
Wait, we can do that?
Look, if you beat Quinn over the head
Beat
with a bat,
Quinn with
he
a
just
bat?
dies.
Yeah.
Very easily.
Yeah, what's he gonna do? Stop you?
Quinn's been hit by a lot of things.
It's hard to not hit Quinn.
Like, the only way Quinn could get away is by lightning carrying himself.
Take off his magical cloak and he literally will just die.
I'm pretty sure Erwin... if Quinn's not expecting to go into combat, Erwin can roll anything but a nat 1 on the die and hit Quinn.
If Quinn's not expecting to go into combat, his AC is in fact a 9.
A 9?
Sorry, it's a 10. His negative.
Let's say what happened to you.
I was gonna say, why is it not a 10
guys,
anymore?
I took a negative dex.
I took a negative ASI.
I decided to hurt myself. All right, so
yeah, I did that with Lily.
If no one's doing anything else, Toto.
I'm gonna check up on Juno.
Oh, you're gonna check up on Juno?
Yeah, let's see how my sister's doing. She's still fucking dying, but
as you walk to the,
I see how you're laughing about that though.
As you're giggling your way to the medical ward, you do see that the headmaster actually is walks out of it and past you. So you do a little salute, I'm guessing, unless you want to get expelled right here and there.
James, wouldn't it be funny if I didn't salute?
Do it.
No, I'm gonna salute.
Go ahead, get expelled.
Not that
He
stupid.
cares.
He seems to be lost in thought. He's sort of muttering to himself. He barely even recognizes you're there.
Cool. Cool. So he didn't see the middle finger in my salute. Good.
God, and you walk into the medical ward and you see that it's only been a day. Hold on. Yeah, it's only been a day. Let me just. All right, you see Juno there. Looks like she's asleep right now.
I feel like you rolled to see if Juno was still there.
I literally told you what disease she has.
Yeah,
This is
I
made
feel-
up.
I
could leave, but
I feel like you were kind of like, oh, it's only been a day. I can't kill her yet. It's not reasonable. She's still here, I guess. Just I guess.
that's what it sounded like.
Yeah, exactly. Did you not know I'm bloodthirsty? Have you not figured that out yet? Still eluding you a little
Alright.
bit.
Juno's still
Never
here.
ends. Meteor storm.
Meteor storm. All right, sorry. No, she's lost the ability to use a bonus action, but she's sleeping right now.
She's lost the. I know she's lost the ability to use a bonus action.
Damn, Quinn, how'd you know that?
I'm not gonna wake her up if she's sleeping. I just want to make sure she was still okay.
Yep. You see sort of with a few like with a book to like in his lap, you see Finn is like completely asleep.
That's cute. No, I'll leave them.
All right.
I don't want to risk waking anyone up. I just want to make sure she was okay.
He's lucky that I'm not as strict as the other ones. He snuck in here. Not sure I got past the guards and stayed here all night thinking I didn't notice him.
I don't think he thought you wouldn't notice. I think he was probably hoping if you did, he'd take pity on him.
More laziness than pettiness. Or pettiness, sorry.
That's fair. Worked out in his favor. At least someone's here staying with her.
Surprised you haven't made more visits, but I guess you do have the whole trial thing to worry about. You are a very important member of your team, if I do believe so. I think that's what the headmaster was saying.
Yeah, I figured it would only bring me more pain to just watch her here rather than at least try to do something about it.
Well, it seems like your friends have coming up with a plan to save her. I guess it's just up to you to resolve whatever you're working on as well.
Figure out who's actually responsible.
You got any leads?
Yes and no. We have leads, but not enough to figure out the mastermind, I suppose.
That's not a lot of
Just
confidence for someone who's about to go to trial.
All we have is someone who did it, but there's a good chance he was being manipulated into it. However, there's no way to prove that, so it's always possible he did just do it of his own volition.
Manipulation is very hard. You always have to keep in mind that their willpower might waver back and go against your own. Using magic to that extent and for that long. It's a very dangerous game, whoever this mastermind was playing. Either that, they had a lot of confidence in their own abilities.
Or they had a lot of confidence that there was enough intention already in him that they could just push him over the edge.
All are contributing factors. When you know your target, just like when you know the type of disease you're working with, it's better to tackle it. You know exactly what you can do to treat it, to ward it off, and to completely destroy it if need be. All it takes is time and studying.
Quinn's just gonna look at Juno for a bit, just like thinking about life, you know? I should probably go talk to Toto about the case.
Go right ahead then.
Yeah. Thanks for letting Finn stay with her tonight. or last night.
Like I said, no need to thank me. Simply being selfish and lazy.
Then I appreciate that your laziness is directed at that and not towards Juno's care.
Don't want to get fired now. Headmaster would be very upset if I let a student die once they entered my ward.
Fair. Quinn's gonna leave.
Alright. Toto.
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 Hototo.
Sorry, I'm here. I'm good.
Why'd you start laughing hysterically?
I have been.
You wouldn't understand.
What did you? What were you two doing?
My grandpa's yelling about why I get a pie and he doesn't get one. What?
Oh my god, I'm sorry. I'm sorry.
She
I'm
sent me a
okay.
Tumblr post about Ace Attorney.
I think she's fangirling over Finn and Juno.
I'm
They
dying
begin to
over
drive for a
an Ace
Dairy
Attorney
Queen.
thing.
The gay one is still
All right, never mind, Erwin.
Hold on.
Erwin is the sane one.
I'm okay.
I didn't make the situation better.
You good?
Garrett?
Wait, what? We're going to me?
Oh no, I'm waiting. I was joking. I'm waiting
Yeah.
for a wolf.
I thought that was a joke. That's why I didn't respond.
Okay, I'm sorry. I'm sorry. I'm here. I'm
You
good.
okay now? You good?
Yeah,
Yeah.
I think so.
Uh-huh.
I think so.
I don't
Yeah.
think so. I don't think so.
It was more amusing because I'm not supposed to laugh, and that made it like 20 times funnier.
All right. Yeah, you know what? I'm cutting away. Sully.
I'm okay
Yeah, what's
now.
up?
I'm okay.
You get a knock on your door. Or, sorry, where are you at, Sully?
I guess my room. Yeah, sure. Let's go with that.
All right. Sully, you get a knock on your. Actually, Erwin, are you in the room too?
Depends on when this is.
This is like a few hours before trial. During I don't know. What was they say it's a Wednesday, so
Today's a Wednesday, so I might be in combat class.
at least true combat class is happening. I see time period.
It's from 1 to 3, so I'd probably be in combat class.
Okay, it was in the morning, wasn't it? Yeah, it was in the morning. So this is like probably after breakfast, so homeroom. Yeah, it's homeroom time.
It's homeroom time.
Did you go to home? Is everyone going to homeroom? Or are people skipping today?
We have to go to homeroom today because we're gonna skip it Friday to go find a cure for Juno.
Oh yeah, that's
Yeah,
right.
We don't want to get
That was
expelled,
the
guys.
plan. Yeah, that was the plan.
All
That
right,
was the
and
plan.
we'll do it like this then. You're at homeroom, and today is Ian giving a detailed description on how to kill a group of bandits with a broken spear. He may just be ranting.
No, I think he's telling his life story.
A bit of both.
And during this time, Sully, you see someone move and sit down next to you.
Easy.
It's the darkness now. It's
Oh,
Taps.
God. Not again. Taps. Who is Taps? What is Taps? Are we talking about the ghost group here? We're talking about the character in the hit series MEAGM created by James, Transformed 314.
You don't know who to cut away to. Maybe I should just keep it with Erwin and Quinn today.
All right, no one gets a session today. Jesus.
No one gets a session. All right.
No, only half of us get a session.
Sully, Taps was the next day, and she'll look at you. Sully, do you think Barkley's gonna get kicked out?
Who's in charge of the trial?
What do you mean?
on prosecution?
It's
That
a
will
group.
be. It's basically you guys are. They didn't tell you anything, so right now you're assuming it's basically every other team versus Team Wood right now. They didn't tell you how it's gonna be laid out.
See. Well, seeing as how all the other teams kind of want Barkley kicked out of the school, whoever they put on prosecution is going to have an easy time, and whoever we put on defense is going to, well, have to really look for the truth. We already know the truth. We just have to convey it accurately so that we can kind of get rid of some of the prejudice that's surrounding Barkley right now.
Do you think that Do you think Barkley should be kicked out?
Well, based off our investigation, he's changed, so what you see is what you get with him. I don't think he wants anything to do with the Dark Tribes anymore.
So you think it's okay that someone who's killed people, innocent people, is still be at this school?
They let scars in, Taps.
Yeah, but you don't particularly like Scars. Unless you do, then I don't mean to offend or anything. If you're a friend or something.
Friendship with him is a bit of an interesting term. But I see what you mean. Besides, Lorben and all of them on Team Iron, they're shady individuals, It's not like they get to throw stones in glass houses.
But no, I mean, I guess what I'm saying, could you, maybe I'm pressing too much, but could you forgive someone who's killed like innocent people?
Innocent people's a bit subjective, though.
People who didn't deserve it?
Let us roll the quick D100 real quick.
What's happening? No, we're gonna get Wicked
Dude,
Sully
Wicked-
during the trial. He's gonna.
Wicked.
I'll
I think
defend.
we should have Wicked Sully during the trial.
I'll defend.
Wicked Sully during the trial would be a fucking power trip.
I support it.
Very close, but no
Damn.
cigar. Well, I guess I could if they were remorseful. Killing someone's a very difficult thing to do. And if you didn't feel guilt or remorse, or if you didn't feel anything, then I think I'd consider you a monster if you killed without remorse.
If you killed without remorse, you're a monster?
Yeah, what's up with the question?
Oh, nothing. I should probably keep paying attention to Ian's, whatever he's doing. Thanks. She'll
Does
like
that have
scoot.
something to do with what happened a couple of months ago?
She's gonna just scoot down a chair.
Pursuit begins. Pressing pursuit.
Alright, you scoot down a chair too.
Yes.
I'm sorry, I didn't quite hear you.
I'm asking if this question has anything to do with what happened to you a couple of months ago. You seem to not enjoy combat, and well, from how you put it, it seems like you're afraid that combat will turn you into a monster.
I don't know what you're talking about. What's your passive insight? I'm not gonna have you roll it. What's your passive insight?
Passive insight.
10
I
plus
think
whatever
it
the
is like
skill
a
is.
10.
It's just a
Oh,
flat
it's 11. It's 11.
11. All right, congratulations. You know that Taps is lying.
Objection.
Slightly above average intelligence. Your rebuttal.
Okay, then, if you're so sure that it's not that, then why were you so twitchy before you turned into, before you grew like 10 feet taller and became like darker, you know?
It's just don't like blood or violence. It's just really scary, you know. Um, Nothing else. It's just really scary.
I think you're more afraid of yourself than you are of blood.
I mean, I I don't know what you're talking about. I just don't like fighting. That's all. I don't like going too far.
Now you at least start telling somewhat of the truth, but not the whole truth. Is Barkley's situation making you self-reflect on what you've done in the past?
She'll like bury her head into her she'll just bury her into the table. You're getting really personal. I was just asking a question. You guys have been working so hard. I just was curious if you actually cared about Barkley. I mean, he is a killer, and from what he said, it sounds like he kills without remorse. So maybe he is just a monster. I mean, people who just kill without remorse are monsters.
Well, yeah, as I said earlier, but yesterday he kind of broke down in front of us, and we learned the truth behind him, and he told us a lot about what brought him here. You know, he's lived a life, he's carved himself a path in blood, and now that he's here, he's feeling the weight of it all.
The weight of it all.
For a while, he was going to take the fall. He was going to take the blame for everything that had happened on that day. The poisoning, the fight, all of it. But after a little bit of pushing, he finally gave up the truth that he didn't do it. So if you're under a similar situation where you've killed in the past, whether it be as you are now or as you are when you get engrossed in combat, I don't think it matters much as long as you don't go killing around here.
Yeah, it doesn't matter much if as long as I don't go killing around here. But yeah, sorry. Yeah, just was getting a little nervous there. But
As if
hmm,
cared about every little crime, then I feel like some of the more royal students here would be under constant scrutiny.
I don't think it's the crime that scares me. I uh, I'm sorry. I don't want to talk about this anymore.
Fair enough.
And she'll just sort of go silent. Choro.
I am here.
Yeah, you done laughing?
Yeah, I'm okay now.
Someone throws something at the back of your head during homeroom.
Who threw a bag at me?
Someone, I mean, it's more like a wadded up piece of paper.
Can I unfold the paper?
I mean, you can. It's empty.
Where did it come from?
Do you like me? Check yes or no.
I hate
That's-
you. Above you, you see Porter sitting on the table, looking at you. A row above you, behind and above.
What do you want, Porter?
Are you gonna do something?
What do you mean?
What do you mean? What do I mean? The weird, like, I don't know, sob story thing you do?
If you're referring to Barkley, we've already done that.
Yeah, you still didn't stop him though. We talked to him this morning. Me, and Kino, and Taps. He doesn't seem like he's fully out of it yet.
Let me ask you something, Porter. After the trial, what do you want to do with Barkley?
What do you mean, what do I want to do with him?
If the trial ends in the favor of Barkley being innocent, everyone was talking that we might just expel him anyway. So what do you want to do with him?
I don't know, put him back in the room? Why would I expel Barkley?
That just kind of seems to be everybody's opinion on the matter.
It makes sense. When most of these people aren't killers, or they don't come from murderous backgrounds. As far as cutthroat this school is, it's not the actual straights. But Barkley's just did something evil for a living. Everyone's done crime. Not a big deal. It seems like he's sorry about it. At least he's not one of those crazy ones that keeps doing it. But are you done then? You're not gonna help him?
I really want to, but the problem comes with whether it's the best for the team. It comes down to whether it's actually best for the majority.
And when has that ever stopped you before?
Well, I haven't come across anything that seems that important. I mean, with you it was a no-brainer. I mean, and the same with Fee. But this isn't me defending. When it was down to you two, it wasn't me defending a mass murderer. It wasn't defending an assassin.
I mean, like, if we're going down that road, I'm pretty sure Kino might have been lying about this, but she's probably killed a bunch of people. He killed some people. And I may have not killed anyone that you know of, but I am a wanted criminal.
I'm gonna smile at him. So your vote is for me to go back down there and try and talk some sense into him?
I was just curious you're going to be as annoying as you usually are when it comes to people.
Carter was saying that nobody is exactly pleased that Team Wood is defending a murderer so hard.
Carter was also willing to, self-destruct himself on Team Silver.
Yeah.
He's also really, really, really boring.
Well, yeah, most of the words that he says goes over your head.
Hey, just because he says a lot of weird things and starts speaking comments does not mean it goes above my head. I choose to ignore it.
Yeah, because that's the only thing your tiny brain can handle.
They can also handle the thought of, piercing you with a dagger.
Man, you always resort to violence when you don't have a good comeback.
Sorry, I shouldn't bully old men. I'm above that.
Oh, no, you're not. We both know you're not. I guess after homeroom or classes or, so long as it's before the trial, I can go down again. I just don't want to, I don't want to leave him in the dark.
Yeah, then keep being annoying. I'm gonna destroy the homeroom though. Bye! He's gonna disappear. He's gonna fall over and then try to sneak out.
Border.
Alright. Homeroom ends. What does party do?
Damn. I don't remember what class is after homeroom, James.
I don't
It is
either.
history.
Oh crap, we have history.
What life lesson are we gonna learn today, James?
The great
Racism
trial
is
of
bad, okay?
racism is good now. Right?
The great trial of racism is
The great
good.
trial of racism is good. Oh, what story shall we learn today? Shall ya learn ya?
Come closer, so I may
So I
teach you better.
Let me teach you better. Let's see here. I don't know. Last thing you guys did was the Guild Wars.
That's the last thing you said, like, before time skip, I think.
Yeah. Well, the Guild Wars is a very complex process. That's the end of the Guild Wars. Then it's like, because it's the end of the Guild Wars, and it's the dividing of the countries into their own separate little things. I think you guys are actually hitting the. I think you're hitting the Great Pact. You know, where a bunch where the mana beasts are going wild and killing everyone. That's probably what you're on, actually. Yeah, the rise of the Spirit Walkers. You guys are learning about a time where the guilds are recently split off, so everyone was sort of divided and across multiple lands. There wasn't really a lot of centralized order or authority. It was sort of just like similar to actual feudal times, just like a lot of different lords and barons having their own sections of land and things like that. And during all this chaos and infighting, a cult rose up, and with this cult, they were trying to call forth a very, very dangerous spirit that is known simply as the Shadow Pact. And this spirit had the ability to rile up and completely control the minds of any magical creature around it. The only thing strong enough to resist it were really humans. And because of this, Mana Beasts became what was once a lot of just legend and rare encounters, nothing major. They started to actually take over the world and grow in their habitats, start killing off a lot of species of normal creatures. And that's when we sort of moved into the period of Mana Beasts becoming a regular thing you see. But during this transition time, everyone was dying because no one was strong enough or equipped enough or knowledgeable enough to deal with Mana Beast. So it's a very dark time. Yeah, that's basically what's about. Mm-hmm. That's when a lot of this fracture. That's when sort of fractured city states and kingdoms sort of merged together into the actual kingdoms we see today, like a full guild Troy under one centralized command, because people were forced to move out of farming towns into walled cities or close to them so they can actually get protection because they did not know how to deal with Mana Beast. Yeah, that's the little history jargon. But yeah, history class comes and goes. I think that's lunch. Actually, no, I think it's after that. It's probably trial time now, yeah.
Yeah, James, you can say the trial is whatever time of day you want it to be.
Are we just skipping combat?
Is it combat? We'll postpone combat.
Damn, rip
Everyone. Ian's very upset, but people are allowed to leave combat class to attend the trial if they wish.
Wait, so it's during combat class?
Yes.
Damn.
Guess people are skipping combat.
Get caught, Erwin.
What?
Don't get to risk your life today. Wait, Toto's in that class too. Sorry, Toto's still alive in that class. I forget about that part.
Yeah, hello. I'm in that class.
We'll say you guys have a little bit of wrap-up time to go talk to someone or prep some last-minute preparations before we go straight into trial time. Quinn, are you doing anything? Talking to anyone, verifying some information, any last-minute wrap-ups. Are you sure you want to proceed? This is the last save point.
James, can I save my game?
Yeah, but there's a change that you have to go forward afterwards.
But if I lose, I can reload my last save point, right?
Oops, I accidentally clicked on Iron Man mode. What's up? What you doing?
There's no Iron Man mode in Danganronpa.
There is now. We're playing Nuzlocke with your team.
I'm playing Nuzlocke. Okay. So, Toto, you didn't happen to get any more information this morning? We
Not
still in
unless
the same
you-
boat as yesterday.
Not unless you count me discovering the fact that if you're drunk off your ass, I can't do my special thingy on you, then that was something new. But, Porter was
Suppose that's
saying,
good to know.
yeah, Porter was saying that he, Kino, and Taps went to go talk to Berkeley. Apparently, things are still weighing on him, so I was fixing to go talk to him again.
I'll come with you. I want to make sure he still wants us to fight for him.
I'm gonna fight for him whether he wants us to or not. It's a matter of getting him to make it easier on us.
For the sake of
Yeah.
ease of conversation, Erwin and Sully, you can say you're here so you can hear this.
I don't have any reason to go talk to Barkley.
Alright.
Why? Because honestly, at this point, I just trust Quinn is ready to not get him thrown into the eternal, undying abyss.
Alright.
That's a lot of trust.
That's a lot
That's
of
a lot of
trust
trust.
there.
That's a lot of trust in
Only
somebody who can
Trust
die from a...
Quinn. Noah doesn't trust Rowan.
Damn.
I
I'm
don't
hurt.
trust you either, Wolf. You're gonna
I'm
get
gonna pull a
thrown into
wolf
the
and just
abyss.
have Garrett take over my character for the session.
Don't call me out like that!
Alright, anyways, Erwin, what are you doing while they go off and do that?
Erwin is probably
Contemplating life.
Erwin's gonna spend the extra 2 hours that he has on top of everyone else because he's not in history. He's gonna be
Fuck you.
Fuck you. He's gonna be in the library, and like he's probably not gonna be any use. But we're gonna try and find some information on manipulation, like magic and stuff.
Ooh. Let's see. It's not an ability battle worthy thing, so we'll just make it a simple.
Stephanie can give you the book that has it.
You think Steffi's gonna just give you the? When is she ever just giving you the answer? We'll call this one an Arcana.
An Arcana. All right, I'm decent with that.
And you are looking at investigating something if you want to add an ability to it.
Let's see. I could just do investigator.
Yeah.
I'll add an investigator to that.
A try and true favorite.
For nerds.
It's a tried and true favorite. So that's just it's a D6, right?
Yeah.
Okay, cool. Let's yeet.
All right. You look through it, and you basically are just going through different books, checking in and out as you get more ideas of where you can find the source of it. You rule out the use of creatures because that would be very hard, and you know there's no one in your class outside of maybe the Spirit Walker and Fee who could reasonably capture a creature and keep it contained. So then you
Control
move
it
on.
like that, Jesus.
What do you say?
Not to mention control it like that. Where
Yeah.
it's like, now you will follow my every whim. Wait, what?
Yeah, you'll find my every whim. So you move over to your natural expertise, which is alchemy. You can't really find anything, at least nothing that's extremely rare or just theoretical, that can manipulate someone on that level and for that long. And so that seems to be a dead end. Then you move over to enchanting, see if there's any items. And again, you get close certain things that can do it, but again, your best enchanter is Finn, and you're pretty sure he didn't do that. And that seems more like a dead end.
Damn, Finn's
Which
the
leads you back.
mastermind behind this whole thing.
That's why he hasn't slept. And so you're left to your last option, which is it's a magical ability, and you know that mages have the ability to charm and to manipulate to an extent, as well as beastmasters. But again, it's only to an extent. You never heard it at this level. Even storytelling has its limits, and it can't really be done without the storyteller being present, at least not for that long. Which then leads you down to one path, which is soul catchers. Soul catchers are very mysterious because they tend to will magic without speaking it. They simply just think about it, and they also have an incredible amount of resilience and power when it comes to manipulating souls, manipulating willpower itself. You know that there are abilities that a soul catcher can use to easily implant orders into other people. But then again, that requires that person to be weak-willed, or for the soul catcher itself to be very strong-willed, because they can constantly resist against the orders, and the orders can't be too lethal. And then there's the rarer cases where the soul catcher has the ability to deeply connect each other's souls to the point where they can communicate and manipulate their mind like it's their own personal playground.
And then there's twins.
We don't talk about those.
Those aren't documented very well. And as far as I can tell, this is not Fred Weasley.
As far as I'm aware,
Imagine,
that's what you get. It's most likely, if this is a soul catcher, it's a soul catcher that's gifted. It's very gifted in manipulation, and also very talented, because again, it's not an easy feat to manipulate someone for that long period of time, unless that person is very weak-willed.
So Fred.
And also with this role, you get a general gist of how soul catchers act. You can't really see their magic. They can apply it to you simply by just looking at you, or just knowing that you're there. And you really wouldn't notice that they're using it on you unless they fell at it.
Fun.
Or it's something very destructive.
Alright, well. I guess that's all I know then.
Alright. Erwin learned with the soul catcher class today.
I don't want to use meta knowledge.
So, with that, Sully, are you doing anything?
I'm going to the peanut gallery. I'm going to watch the trial.
All right, he's kicking back.
I'm ready. If I need to, I'll shout objection and cause a whole ruckus in court and be held in contempt.
All right then. Toto,
So,
and
did you join in the crowd when we shout about the hat, cloak, and roses?
Yeah, I'll do it.
I hate everything.
All
Toto.
together. Absolute silence.
Toto and Quinn, you guys make your way back to the jail cell, where you see leaving is good old Mr. Casper to give you a wry, evil smirk.
I swear to God, I am this close to strangling this man. Anyway.
And wait to see you at the trial. Be fun to watch your leader burn to the stake.
I say nothing to him. I just continue walking.
Very peaceful when you're upset. You should do this more often. He looks at you, Toto.
Deep breaths. Deep breaths. I'm just gonna keep walking. I'm not talking to him. I'm not looking at him. I am not going to start a fight with Casper before the trial. I will not let them use that against me. I will not say anything that could be used against me in the court of law.
And
I look
Barkley's a
forward to using our
whore.
skills from politics. Use.
That's why we're here, aren't we? To learn how to do things like this, how to burn your enemies to the stake, using nothing but your words.
And I suppose we'll see now which of us is better at burning or extinguishing fires?
We've been playing around in class for a while. Equally witted when nothing's on the line. But I have a feeling you're going to slip. Prince, you don't seem to be the reliable type. Sorry, I said that really messed up. Reliable type when something's on the line.
You know, you both can say very pretty words, Casper, but it does nothing. Okay, hold on. Calm down. Hold on. All right.
Are you talking about his words or his
Hold
face,
on.
Dodo?
Hold on. No,
You
I
got
know
really
what I was
pretty
going
face
to
here, Casper, and I really want to.
I
I
knew
mean,
what I was going to say, but it was starting to
Let
come
me-
out
let me-
wrong, and I have to fix it.
Let me quote my brother.
Get your
He may
sweet
be the
Dexter.
hottest babe, but he's not smart enough.
get your sweet dexterous ass out of here.
Jesus Christ. Anyway, hold on. Give me one moment.
I suppose it will depend on where the evidence itself points.
Man, you
Listen-
both could say some pretty words, but Casper, those pretty words do not compare to your pretty face.
He was flirting. Fuck.
Hey, it's called creating chaos. I am a harbinger of chaos.
Quinn's gonna look at Toto like, now?
Hey, commenters,
Now is when you're flirting.
please recall like 5 minutes ago, whenever I said I don't trust these two, I trust their characters. I take it back. I take it all back.
Take it all.
Can I get on Team Iron, please?
Yes.
Awesome. I'll
Will my
see y'all in
sister
court.
accept me?
Sister, I take it back. I want to go back for your deal. You said I could join Team Iron, and that's what I'm
You
doing.
were right. They're all idiots.
They're all idiots. Barkley's gonna get thrown in prison even though he was innocent, all because they can't articulate.
Casper actually will just clear his throat. He seems to not be bothered at all. What's your passive perceptions?
My passive perception, James. My passive perception. Is high as fuck.
Perception or insight?
Perception.
Well,
18.
I was hoping you'd
he hasn't-
say insight.
Because he hasn't said anything. Quinn, he seems that he's not taking that at all. Toto, you see that he slightly is thrown off by that. You see, he
Hell
got
yeah.
a little red, but he seems like he quickly hit it.
Damn.
Holy shit! I just successfully flirt with Casper. Holy shit!
Anyways, you have fun playing with your soon-to-be exiled prisoner. He's going to take his leave.
Damn, that worked.
Toto, now is when you're flirting.
He's kind of cute when he's mad. Come on, let's go talk to Barkley.
Casper's demeanor towards you has not changed since the day you've met.
If anything, it has turned into further disgust.
What was that 10
You're
for?
not wrong,
Oh,
but
no. wait, what was the 10 mean?
you're not wrong, but that's not the point here, Toto.
Oh, I was rolling
Oh,
to
no.
see if you would leave.
Oh no. Garrett's right. Get your sweet dexterous ass out. I don't care about your stupid, beautiful face and your lovely voice and your dumb hair.
And your beautiful eyes.
God, I can just get lost in them screaming at you.
Oh my god, that's amazing.
Sorry, continue, RP.
Let's go talk to Barkley now.
Go to the end of the cell and you see Barkley is just laying on his back, staring at the ceiling.
So my first question is going to be, what the hell did Casper say to you?
That's a very long question. One in particular, like what he asked me?
Well, he just seemed very smug walking out, and I didn't like the expression.
Asked me about my past.
Did he say anything against you?
No, but you know that bastard by now. He's not going to say something unless he can get benefit out of it.
Alright. So I heard that Kino Porter and Taps came to talk to you.
They did earlier this morning.
They really care about you, you know.
I mean, I guess when you put up with their bickering and weird habits for a few months, I suppose people can grow on you.
I guess you have Porter to thank for us coming back down here. He wants me to slap some more sense into you.
What's there to talk about? Thought we already covered everything.
Well, there's not much else to talk about for the trial, but I'm talking about you still.
And what about me?
Porter said it still seemed like you've given up.
He lifted up his chained hands. Look around. We both believe in the same thing. I thought nature gave me a chance to guide me to a new path. Yet here I am, paying for my sins. If this is what the world wants, this is what the world will get.
Or maybe your path has led you to an obstacle that you have to overcome now. This is the final step in changing.
Prince, could you forgive me? A murderer who killed without remorse. Someone who slit throats and poisoned people for marks.
I believe you're not the same person who you were a year ago. So maybe back then, sure, I would have had you thrown in jail. But I believe people can change. You show remorse now, and that's what matters.
Change and forgiveness. People can change, doesn't mean they can be forgiven.
True, but accepting the change is the first step towards forgiveness. It takes a lot to let people like out on a parole. It takes even more to absolve them of their sentence.
And you know
Knights, good. Go for it.
the people you've hurt don't. I know you're going to hate hearing this, and I don't exactly like saying it. But the people you hurt don't have to forgive you. You did take lives, Barkley, and nothing is going to change that. But what can happen is you finding peace elsewhere. You accepting the change in yourself and accepting that you too deserve to move on, to have peace, to have a new life. You deserve that too. And whether or not they forgive you, you should just find it in yourself to accept what happened. People are here to support you now. You're not alone. There's people here who know that you want to change and that you have changed. We're here to support you. And that's what you need. That's what we're here for.
You know, Night Screecher's the one who taught me how to kill. Him and a few others. When I was younger, he caught a scurry. If you kill it slow enough, it doesn't explode. And he had me slit its throat. When I asked him if that was wrong, he said, no. Because death was just a release. It was painless, no matter what they said. Those who don't accept death are just cowards. But they'll love it in the end. Everyone in the tribe taught me that killing was just like breathing or drinking water. Nothing mattered. Didn't matter. It was just fun. Fun for everyone. In the end, if you caught your prey, they lost. And it'll be painless. They'll move on. I didn't know. I probably did know. I just ignored it. How
You
people would scream. Go ahead.
didn't see the pain until it was your friends who were the targets.
Till it was me that was the target. I didn't know how scared someone can be when they're watching someone play around with their lives, begging, screaming, crying, doing anything to avoid death. I thought they were just being cowards. I thought grace was just weakness. I thought that I was just doing a job and doing a fun game. And then when it happened to me, it's like someone ripped off the curtain. Couldn't lie to myself anymore.
At least you're not one of the crazy ones that are continuing to do it. The curtain has fallen. You've seen what you've done, and you see a new path ahead of you, and that's where you have to lead. That's where you have to go. And nobody is saying that this trial is going to be easy. It's going to be a pain in the ass to sit through and have to look at all those faces that want you dead, that want you expelled, that want you gone, and tell them no. That's going to be very hard. And whether you want us to or not, Quinn and I are going to face that courtroom, and we're going to defend you. The question is if you're willing to defend yourself too. Also, James, I just want to say I'm going to kill you.
Ew.
Don't think I did not catch on to what you did during that spiel.
Barkley, if a child stole, sure, you'd be mad at him. But he didn't know any better. He hasn't yet been taught that stealing is wrong. You were taught your whole life that killing was a release. It was fun. It's the same concept, just on a more damaging scale, I suppose. And you learned the lesson a bit too late. But if you're being honest with how you were raised, then I could forgive you for what you've done in the past.
I don't know if I can forgive someone who puts on a mask and kills people, laughing, thinking it's fun. I don't think someone like that should live. I don't think someone like that should go on with their life seeing all those faces, begging for mercy, no matter how much he wants to be good.
I don't think someone continuing down that path should live. But I think someone who has since turned from it and punished himself enough for it has a chance of redemption.
But what if I haven't turned? What if I'm just still scared of what happened? I snapped back into a little bit when we were fighting. I was getting back into my groove, and then when Taps turned, I tried to use poison on her. I tried to knock her out. But what if it was worse? What if my back goes against the wall, and I turn back to that mask, and I kill someone else?
And then you're just not there yet. You're not it's a fight or flight instinct that you have to train yourself to overcome. I've never killed anyone, but I'm sure if my back was against the wall, I probably wouldn't be holding back at the very least. Whereas you spent your entire life killing people. When it comes down to it, that's going to be your instinct. No matter how much your brain fights against it, no matter how much you tell yourself it's wrong and beat yourself up for what you've done, it's still your gut. And it's something that takes time to overcome.
Any wild animal that's cornered, anybody that's cornered, just like Quinn said, they're going to do things that you wouldn't think that they were capable of because they're scared. If your life was threatened and you killed somebody, I don't think anybody would blame you for it.
I'll make mistakes in the heat of passion, Jimbo.
Cut to. Yeah, what are you doing? Your turn, Quinn. I propelled Pino. Ah!
Listen.
Garrett, can you please actually do that? Can you please do that? We all make mistakes in the heat of passion, Jimbo. Cut to that section.
No.
Please, for the love of God, that would be
break
beautiful.
the flow so much.
Anyway.
I wish I can be good like you two. You guys that say you'll kill someone, but I think that's the furthest thing you do. Toes couldn't even hurt a fly if it gave it a sappy enough story. And Quinn, not to judge or anything, but I don't think you really have a murderous bone in your body.
I also don't think I have the means to kill anyone.
You're a mage. Your tongue is enough to kill. You're a prince. That even further amplifies it.
Barkley, I don't think you know exactly what I would do. Would I kill you? No. Would I kill Casper or Lorben? They're on thin ice, but probably not. But if you sat my sister's killers in front of me, you're damn right I'd be putting an arrow through their heads.
Still puts you on a far greater pedestal than mine. Why? Why do you guys want to help me? Why don't you want me to just get expelled?
Because if you're going to be expelled, then I'd rather it be on your own terms if you want to leave the school.
Not to mention, everybody here is a goddamn hypocrite. If you get
not
expelled...
gonna let you go down for this.
Yeah, if you get expelled for something either you didn't do or something you've done in your past, I think this entire school would be expelled, except for a handful of people. Everybody's made mistakes in their past. Everybody's done things that they regret, and everybody's done things that they don't want dug back up. But you're a scapegoat. You're the big, bad, evil wolf that they think that if they put it away, all of their troubles will go away. Nobody will look to them. Yours might be worse than theirs. Yours probably is worse than a couple of people's, but you're just what they're using to make themselves feel better. They get rid of you, then they have a chance of being redeemed. Nobody wants to be in your shoes, but nobody wants to admit it. And I know there's a lot of talk about defending teams and defending reputations and all that crap, and well, that's certainly a part of it.
It's more of an added bonus.
Yeah, it's not the focus. It's not why I'm doing this. It's because we care about you, Barkley. We've seen what you can be, what you probably want to be, the kind of person that you're striving to be, and it's beautiful. We've fallen in love with him. And that's what we're fighting for. That's what you should be fighting for, too.
He'll just he'll look up at the torch and see tears roll down his eyes. Fine. I don't want to leave. Don't want to leave Porter end up breaking down into a challenge and getting himself killed. I don't want Kino to live her entire life sleeping. I don't want Taps to have a nervous breakdown and jump into the veil in an accident. Don't want Toto having a stroke trying to talk to every person who gives him a slightly sad story. Don't want the prince getting constantly bullied because of who he is. Want to help. Want to keep being on Team Wood. Want to keep being Barkley. Not who I was.
Good. Then that's what'll happen.
All right. With the stakes set, we're going to cut trial.
Oh, fucking yeah!
You guys all
So
piled
Toto's
on
on the stand with me now?
Yes, Toto is standing next to you now.
Thank God. I need my Maya.
You're standing on the stand. Everyone's sort of in homeroom gathered around in their own individual teams. When you see Leanne saunter in with a bottle in his hand. All right. Everyone settle down. So, welcome to the first trial of the first year of your first academy, first visit, first murder. Or first potential murder. Yes, first. A lot of first things happening, which is why we haven't really decided at all what how the proceedings will go out. Now, you guys could debate on this, but we only have through combat class to make a decision. So I suggest we use the Fun Academy standard for trials, which you guys can change afterwards, huh? What do you all say?
I don't think we get a say in this. This isn't politics class right now.
Well, let's see. Who wants to start? Ooh, student. Ooh. See, that's only on Thursdays, which means I get to make up the rules. Beautiful.
Fuck.
All right,
Should've
here's
held
how
during
it's going.
politics. Fuck.
Here's how it's going to work. We are going to have a nice classic trial, but instead of it just being what they do in Mage territory, we're not going to do combat trial like we do in a lot of other places. But the trial is going to take place like this. We're going to have two separate teams, the defense and the prosecution, of course. But when it comes to the council, we're going to have different representatives. So you guys can have one representative for each team to pick a side. I'll let you guys to figure that out. Then once we have our sides, you guys will get some time to come up with a case, present it, and we'll do a nice little back and forth. Until we come to a grand decision, which will be decided not by me, though that would be lovely and funny, but by everyone who decided to show up and witness this great trial. He'll move over to the rest of the randoms. Instead of it being a team vote where the leaders decide, we're going to make it a public vote. Or rather, who is innocent and who is guilty. Any questions?
James, clear up the representation thing for me again.
Each team will pick one representative. They may choose to pick one representative to either be part of the defense or prosecution.
Cool.
For
Wait,
some
representative.
So, also in the case of Barkley, usually it's one representative, but it looks like that Team Wood have dug themselves, and again, another deep hole. So I'll allow you to pick up to 3 representatives for your side, Wood.
3?
Unless
3 plus fee?
unless anyone else you look around wants to represent Team Wood. No response.
Yeah, that's what I thought.
We'll have fun with that.
Wait, can we have Fee? That would be great. Is Fee
Why
here?
do you want Fee?
Listen,
Because I think
he
that
is
would
his
be
own
funny.
team. He gets to choose which side he's on.
Why do you
okay?
want him to defend anything? He doesn't know what's going on.
Yeah, it was
Oh.
a joke, Wolf.
Anyhow, so we're back to arguing about Carter versus Irwin.
do you want to give James an NPC in this, or should I sit in? That's the question.
You want me to have 2 coins and an NPC?
An NPC on our side, though.
Yes.
James passing coins between himself.
Oh, circle jerking
No,
is
James will
my
never use the
specialty.
coins to help us. Is the thing.
Yeah.
That's true. That's true.
Only when I know you're still gonna fail do I let you use a coin.
So do we trust
Well.
Carter to have all the social skills, or do we trust Erwin to have the social skills?
I will let you. I will
Not
like to
a-
remind the court that Carter is a seasoned fighter as well.
Yeah, I was like, it's not about the social skills here, Wolf. It's about who is the smart one. We don't need them to say anything to the court. We just need them to like check us because we're dumb.
Then Garrett.
All right.
No.
Alright.
Am I?
Well,
We're
no.
going to approach Erwin.
Yeah, you approach Erwin. Toto don't.
I will approach Erwin. I suppose you know what I'm about to ask you.
I suppose I do.
Would you like to make sure Toto and I don't fuck up?
I could try and make sure to keep you in line.
Alright. There we go. We have our third boy.
All right, representing from the prosecution side,
Meet
from all the
Casper.
way downtown, we have Casper taking in the front spot here as the lead runner.
Mm-hmm.
Coming in second, we have coming
Meek.
an old classic is Meek,
Now the third one I don't
the
know.
all-star
Ted.
of the route. Someone
Has to be from
confident,
Glass. It's gonna be Ted.
confident, cool, and collective. And last one coming all the way from Team Glass. You know him, you love him. Hopefully, it's Scars.
Wait, what?
God
What?
fucking damn it.
What?
Ted's just sitting back chuckling now.
What do you
James?
mean it's Scars? Is Ian guest starring or something, taking control of Scars during the trial?
You think Ian wants to sit through a trial?
Ian does not want to sit through a trial.
I don't think Scars wants to sit through a
I
trial.
didn't think so either. That's,
That's
why I was
exactly
expecting
why
Ted.
Scars plans to end this in the next 5 minutes.
You're right. He has a
So,
sense of urgency.
You see, everyone walks to the trial getting ready, discussing, and Scars looks extremely annoyed, just tapping his foot and
You
very.
weren't joking.
He keeps getting
What the
side
fuck?
eyes back toward the Team Glass corner.
Jesus Christ.
So, James, were they elected or?
They were discussion happening through all teams.
Okay.
So they just happened
Um,
upon Scars.
There was no forced election.
So Scars did have to consent to this.
Yes.
Okay.
maybe
God
we
damn
should
it.
have taken Sully. He does have power over Scars.
Sit.
Well, now he can glare at him from across the courtroom. But yeah, I kind of agree. We probably should have taken Sully so that he had control of Scars. God damn it.
No offense, Erwin, but this would have been hilarious.
To be fair, I thought Ted was gonna be joining us from Team Glass.
Yeah, I thought Ted was going to be here too.
I mean,
I'm-
Quinn, this isn't too much of a shocker from you. Ted doesn't really spend much time in debates unless he's forced to. He seems a good
Yeah.
talker, but he doesn't like to willingly volunteer himself.
Yeah, but
That's why I think he did it.
Scars?
All right.
Like, I'm okay with it not being Ted, but Scars.
Would you want it to be Diamond?
Yeah. Diamond or the Mute?
I would rather it be like a
Mute?
new NPC from Glass.
The Mute?
Like, I know
Yeah,
the
the Mute.
named options aren't great here, but
All right,
Damn.
so let's see. Flip of the coin. Team prosecution. Here's what's going to happen. So, all of you have gathered here today and promptly skipped their combat class. I'm looking at you in the top row. We are going to decide the fate of good old Barkley. And the doors will open. You see Barkley and chains being escorted by guards. as he sits down near the front row. You guys basically been called toward the center of the lecture hall, toward the front seats. And Barkley's a chair is pulled out toward the little throne lecture, and he sat in front of it. As you may all have known, 2 days ago, during a food period, lunch, there was an altercation happening, and which, by one event led to the other, resulted in our dear fellow student Juno being poisoned and collapsing to the floor. Right now, she is in a supposed irreversible state of standing stones. Very nasty thing. We are gathered here today because it is under the common belief by a majority of people here, except for Team Wood, that Barkley has, in fact, poisoned Juno. We are here to discover not only if this is true or not, but the truth as a whole, and nothing but the truth. This trial is meant to take the power and the investigation and the brain power of the fellow students of this academy so that nothing but justice is served today, or very dark ulterior motives. Either way, it should be fun. And because I flipped my coin, the prosecution gets to go. Please.
That is generally how trials work, actually.
Your opening statement. I don't care, Quench. Sit down.
I don't care how it works in Liveria. Shut your damn mouth and just watch.
I've returned from my union-mandated break.
All right, now it's Wolf's turn. All right.
Oh wait, it's my turn? Alright. I'll miss opening statements for this.
So. Sorry, I'm eating food. You see Casper walk up. And he's about to say something when Scars pops up from his seat. Can we just get this over already? He's guilty. It's simple. Just throw him in jail. I don't know. I'll fight him. I still think we should do combat by trial. Anyone else? Anyone?
Scars, you're not making this any easier. Please stop.
Oh, you weren't here for this. He's actually representing the prosecution.
Why? My comment still stands. My comment still stands.
I'm simply here because I am prosecution. I think that this is all pointless. We all know he's an idiot, and yeah, he did it, and he messed up. As my associate was saying, yes, this seems to be a frivolous waste of time. Everyone will know after this trial that this was simply Team Wood grasping at straws and trying to desperately defend the ugly truth that their supposed good and heartwarming team that tries their hardest to keep everyone together is nothing more than a front for murderers, liars, and all sorts of miscreants in between. Scars simply is the one who poisoned Juno and attempts to kill Chris, and will probably end up killing Juno in the process. That is our case here. And hopefully after we've discussed everything, reviewed all the evidence, you all will agree to the only obvious truth that the person sitting down in front of you right now is a murderer. Attempted murderer and an actual murderer. And he will sit down. Chaos and order. Curious what that's about. Defense, when you're ready.
Alright, Quinn's gonna go up. While it is obvious and true that Barkley has done some questionable deeds in the past, he is in fact innocent in this particular instance and has such been framed for murder. I believe that's all I have to say on that without presenting any actual evidence at the moment. So, yeah.
Persuasion at disadvantage.
At disadvantage. All right, buddy. Let's go. I don't like how slow the dice roll. Let me turn off the 3D.
And that's where all went downhill. All right.
What if I used a coin?
You want a coin?
No.
No, because it's not worth it for disadvantaged rolls.
No, it is.
completely
If it is.
overrides. It's extra worth it for disadvantage.
Then why haven't we done it before? Because most of the times when that happens,
I
we're just like,
couldn't
it's
be
not worth
bothered
it.
to read it, and we've been doing it since the beginning of MEAGM. I just couldn't be bothered to read it during Ruby. I may have already made that a rule like a while ago.
Alright.
Yeah, well, if we don't read the rules, so.
Not even the creator.
Besides,
So-
even this would still be worth it, even if we were using that, because the other roll's a 24.
Yeah.
So, we are going.
So wait, are we using a coin then, or not?
No, it was a joke.
I don't know, it's not my roll.
We're going to start. God, I gotta remember how trials work. I don't know.
So how trials work is that the prosecution calls a witness to the stand, questions the witness, and then the defense gets to counter.
Or they can
Or
present an
quick
evidence.
cross.
Yeah, you're right.
Or they
Yeah.
can present
Did we
Uh,
follow evidence law?
Follow
Do we
evidence
have
law.
evidence law?
No, there is
No.
no evidence law.
So this is just Ace Attorney without the evidence law. Got it.
Well, everyone had access to the evidence, but there was no official submission of evidence or, the review of a judge because there is no judge.
Leanne's the judge, technically.
Leanne's not a judge.
Leanne is a
Babysitter at best.
yeah, a mediator at most.
Wait, so if I say objection, is he the one that sustains or rejects it?
Who knows?
Fuck you. What?
Ooh.
Objection fucked. What does that mean? It means fuck off, Quinn.
Why does Leanne hate me?
Royal bastard.
What a royal cunt. All right, so
Royal cunts keeping all the good booze themselves.
So we are going to open with prosecution's going to. What should we start with? Shall first. Okay, we're gonna start with bringing Barkley to the stand.
All right.
Damn, right off the bat.
Barkley, we're simply going to go over a few questions that we went over before. Starting off with, did you kill her? You see Scar just get up.
Scars is here to keep it interesting, and I appreciate that.
No, Scars, would you please? Or were you going to kill her? No, I wasn't going to kill her. Have you killed people? Yes, I've killed people. You want to kill me? I mean, no. What? Scars.
I was gonna say right now a little bit, yeah.
Because you can kill me right now if you want. It can be we get your trial easier. I'm just saying, Barkley. I will accept your trial by combat. Don't want to fight you, Scars. All right, Scars. Sit down. Casper would just gently push him back toward the group. As my associate was saying, have you killed in the past, Barkley? Yes. And could you tell me how many people you've killed? It's hard to keep track. At least a dozen people. Oh, I'd have to number there. And tell me, as Team Wood you are, it must have been for some noble cause. What was the cause of these killings? It was... Sorry, not cause, motive. Motive of these killings. It was for marks. Money? So just to clarify, you're saying you've killed over a dozen people mercilessly because of marks? Yes. So, would you consider yourself an assassin? Yes. Would you consider yourself an assassin of a dark tribe? Yes. Right. And getting back over to these killings, as you claim yourself to be an assassin, how did you go about your, which we can say, I guess, your business? How did you kill? There's a lot of different ways I killed. Okay. What was your most popular method? Poison. Poison? Okay. There's a lot of poisons in the world. There's poisons that make you sleep, poisons that can slowly kill, poison. It's a long list. Could you be more particular? Was there a favorite type of poison you like to use? My own concoction. Interesting. Tell me, what were the effects of this special concoction? The point was to cause rapid internal bleeding and other things like that, but if that didn't kill them, it could leave them standing stones, so they couldn't get away. There's you see that everyone in the crowd seems to be very disgusted by this, and a lot of people. There's already a distaste when Barkley speaks, but it's grown worse with every statement he says. Interesting. So why would you use standing stones? You said that the poison already was lethal enough to kill with all those horrible things. Like I said, I didn't want them to get away. I wanted to make sure that that I killed the target. Very brutal way to do things. And you see, like, Casper sort of takes a moment as if he's trying to digest the horrific information. You guys can make me insight test if you want.
Sure, why not?
I don't care.
Toto, you just get pretty face.
I see many pretty faces, James. Don't lie.
God, I hate Toto.
I hate Toto.
I forgot. I just forgot how bad he is.
So
Hello.
during the silence, you see sort of Scars get back up again. I don't know what you guys are talking about. It's ugly. All disgusting faces. That's pretty cool, honestly. Using poison to, like, slow people down. I'm kind of sick, dude. You should, like, teach me some of that stuff if you end up winning through this stuff. You're not going to, because, you know, you're the murderer, and we could just be over with this so I can go do something more fun. But if you live, I want to try some of that poison stuff now.
No one gives Scars poison.
You see that people just look more annoyed, and you can't tell if it's for Scars or the hatred for Scars or toward Barkley or a mixture of both. Right. So, moving on. The poisoned. Sorry. So, if you had to poison. Sorry, if you had. I'm messing my own words. If you had to kill someone in this school, Barkley, what would be your preferred method? I suppose it depends. Where I'm at, situation. If you have to generalize, what would you use? Poison. Poison. And this signature poison you use so much, how did you have to inject it? Preferably in the talons of my bird. But if I needed to be more quiet, food is the second best option. Interesting. Poisoned food. And to clarify, Barkley, before the incident, you were arguing with Chris a lot, weren't you? Yes. And you would say you and Chris had a very rocky relationship. Some might say a very verbally abusive relationship in his last few weeks. Yes. Did you think that Chris hated you? Yes. Was Chris aware of your past? I believe so. Did you think Chris was going to tell anyone else of your past? If he hadn't already, he was going to do it soon. And tell me, the argument you and Chris had before the poisoning of Juno, what was it about? I wanted to talk to Chris about my past. Interesting. And you did, in fact, walk up to Chris, correct? You started the conversation? Yes. And when he told you to leave, you did touch him, correct? And got closer? Yes. To the point where he pushed you away? Yes. Barkley, are you good at sleight of hand? When it's needed. Right. No further questions. You see, like Leanne just takes a long sip of his drink, and he has like a very cheeky smile. Good. Defense.
All right, let's go, guys.
Cross-examine. Press him on everything.
Press.
Hold it. Objection.
I feel like I should press him more on this.
Do you know what questions he's going to ask here, Quinn?
I know a couple.
Who's gonna? You most people can stand up, as you saw with
Yeah,
Scars
multiple
and
people
Casper.
can say things.
Yeah, I'm gonna jump in when needed, but start with your first question. Let's start from the beginning.
Do
here.
you think Casper is evil? I'm not sure this relates to anything, but yes.
Objection. Unrelated.
I'm surprised no one even attempted an objection. This is
Your Honor,
fun,
this is
fun.
slander.
This is slander.
Your Honor, this isn't cool. Barkley, would you consider yourself good at what you do?
Objection. Unclear question. Can you?
Sorry, in the way of assassination and such?
Yes.
So when it comes to poisoning, you would say that you only put out your best work, nothing less?
Yes.
And would you consider yourself to be a stealthy and I'm trying to think of the word I'm thinking of here. Premeditative killer?
Yes.
Right, so one might say that causing such a large scene in the middle of a cafeteria wouldn't quite be your style, correct?
Yes. Correct.
Right. So it would be quite simple for one to take advantage of such a scene and use it as a distraction to do the poisoning themselves, correct?
Correct. I want to object you, but I don't want to keep objecting. You're leading question like a motherfucker.
You are leading a lot.
Listen, I don't know how better to word things, okay?
That's fine. We're not doing a real trial.
Yeah.
It'll take forever.
Yeah, I'm not good at what I do, James. I'm just here.
There's a reason being a lawyer is an actual job.
Yeah. There's so many rules you have to follow.
Unless you're an ace attorney.
Yeah, then you just click the buttons until something works. Or if karma beats you to death.
Objection! Keep going.
Objection. I'm trying to figure out how to bring up the quality of the poison here. Barkley, how long has it been since you've made standing stones? Or made the poison?
probably, I couldn't tell, probably 6, 7 months ago.
All right, and what kind of shelf life does something like that have?
If kept stored properly, it can last for, honestly, months. Say upward to 5, maybe 6.
Hmm. Hmm. So what you're saying is the last batch you made would not have been a viable option for using on Chris.
The last batch I made would not be a a very reliable option. Its stability would be in question. May not be as effective, or it may not work at all.
Are you the type to take that chance if your intention is truly to kill someone?
Not if I can avoid it.
Would you say attending school here, you would have a chance to avoid that scenario? I mean, find another way to do it or create a fresher batch?
The ingredients for Standing Stone's poison can't be found in the school, but I wouldn't rely on such an old sample.
Right. And as we can see, based on its effects on Juno, though she didn't consume as large an amount as is ideal, the dosage portioned out for Chris was not enough to kill him. Meaning, whoever did this is most likely attempting to place the blame on Barkley by using his signature method, though not up to his standards. But I don't have any questions for Barkley. Like I'm gonna look at the defense table and be like, y'all have anything else?
No. It sounds like you're trying to bring in that food, right then, Quinn?
Correct.
So you mean the poison that was on Chris's plate?
Mm-hmm.
And what makes you think that Barkley didn't make that? That it was something that he didn't intend to make?
Something that he didn't intend to make?
Or sorry, something that he didn't make at all is what I would say.
Well, as he said, there's not the means at the school to make a. Didn't he just say that, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
There's not the means at this school to make something like that, and the last batch he made would be completely unreliable for something this seemingly this important.
And he also said that anytime he tried to assassinate someone, he made sure the job got done. If he really wanted to kill Chris, he would have made something a little more potent than what was in the food.
Or it's simply that he didn't have enough time or resources. We're constantly working and juggling between classes, challenges, and other random things. You wouldn't have much time to premeditate a murder. Or make your signature poison when you have a limited supply and you can't necessarily go to your usual sources.
Then
Maybe.
Exactly. He
But-
would have attempted something other than his signature poison.
Exactly.
Something more feasible with the time constraints.
Or maybe if you're someone who's stuck in an environment where you don't have access to your normal resources, you rely on something you've committed to memory, something you've used time and time again and made the best duplicate you could with the time constraint and resources you had.
Barkley, how many other poisons do you know?
He'll think about it.
Estimate.
13 to 15.
I'm gonna look at the prosecution.
Barkley, how many poisons do you know by memory? About 2 or 3.
And are any of those feasible to reproduce in the constraints of the school?
One is, but it only induces sleep. The others, the ingredients, Jux doesn't keep, at least not openly available, those type of ingredients because they tend to be very deadly, even if you don't know how to make the poisons I know how to make.
And while it would leave a trace, don't we have a library for this sort of thing? If you don't know it off the top of your head, you could always go to the library and ask for a book on antidotes. Work backwards from there, or actually ask for poisons. Or, in more subtle ways, ask for the ingredients or the recipes that you need from the library. As long as you know the name, you know what you're looking for.
But you've already brought up, or sorry, it was already brought up that he was arguing with Chris not too long ago, only a few weeks. It would be reasonable to think that someone would have time to research in depth one of their more reliable poisons if they thought they were on a massive time constraint. If they thought they needed to kill someone very quickly.
I believe if they thought they needed to kill someone very quickly, they might not have waited a whole 2 weeks. Would have been much easier to attempt something during Spirit Oasis when everyone's distracted, there's not much time going on, there's not much homework going on, and it's easy for someone to simply not make it back on time.
Didn't you also say that he's premeditative? That you said that he doesn't like to do things rushed? So even if he knew it was a dire issue, someone doesn't simply change their habits that quickly. 2 weeks is very rushed for someone who spends months planning, but 2 weeks is very long for someone who's like Scars. Hey! You're right.
I'll sustain that, yeah.
What I want to know is, it sounds like Barkley's really bad at his job. So, like, is that why that little weird cloak thing was involved then?
We will get to that. Okay, pause real quick
No,
because
actually, I think this is a good point to bring up the weird cloak thing.
I have a really quick question because I want to know if this should be brought up.
The answer is no.
Because I think it does. But question. We found out that Barkley was going to Chris to make amends, right? On the day of the murder.
I mean, yes, but that's from his mouth, and we can't exactly. It's not admissible. It's not. They could just say bullshit, you're lying, or bullshit, he's lying.
Yeah, easy. It's not. It's something that's hard to bring up.
Because the only person who can confirm that is Team Wood members who have personal interest in this, or Barkley himself.
Yeah. Okay, that's fair. Continue.
There's a lot of bias going on is the issue.
You said you wanted to bring up the cloak, Quinn. Or is Erwin, you want to step in at all?
The one thing I wanted to step in for, they brought up. Granted, it was in a way that was so not good, but I can't go back on what they've done, so.
I'm hurt.
If we're moving subjects, then how about we take a brief cool down from this rapid debate and we bring forward the evidence. We'll switch sides here. Defense, you can bring up the cloaks in question when you're ready. These gestures for you to go back to your side if you want to discuss things before you jump right into it.
Right.
Let's discuss.
All right, team huddle. Let's go.
Team huddle. Team huddle. So how are we going to?
What are we doing? So just pops. He uses the shadows you guys are creating to teleport into center.
All right, if
He's just sitting there curled up in fetal position. What are we doing?
Sully is now under the desk.
Nobody said he couldn't be. Anyway. So how exactly are we going to do this without Team Iron completely shredding us for being, interested in this case?
The cloaks We should mention first the piece of cloak that everyone knows about, which is on Barkley. After that, though, we can connect that to what we found underneath his bed, where we found another invisibility cloak.
We found 2 there, actually.
Or we found 2 there.
However,
Now-
neither of the tears matched what was on Barkley.
No, that's
Oh, right.
false.
Fuck, you're right. Yeah. Look, Quinn wouldn't have said that. That's me fucking up. I was trying to connect things, and I didn't connect shit.
And what we can easily bring up from there is how Barkley didn't have time to go back to his room to stow these cloaks.
And then they're going to bring up the fact that there were 3 cloaks, meaning that there was an accomplice. Or accomplices.
That's true, but is there enough? But if they start bringing in accomplices, is there enough evidence to tie Barkley to the case?
I mean, the cloaks being in his room is definitely enough to be like, hey, he had his accomplices store the cloaks in his room.
But if you had an accomplice, would you not have them store the cloaks in someone else's room to throw the blame off of you?
That's a fair point. I'm just
Hence
making sure
why
we're not
they're
going
in
to get
the
overrun by
room.
logic.
Lastly, there is the situation of the 3rd cloak, which we found a piece of at the scene of the crime, as well as a broken poison vial, if you recall.
Mm-hmm.
And that's when we can start matching up the cloaks. The one on Barkley fits one that was in his room, while the one that was actually found at the scene of the crime, in the tables, mind you, was actually in somebody else's room.
Yes.
So this is where we start throwing Fred under the bus.
This has to be the point where we start throwing Fred under the bus, as much as I don't want to. But he did it. Whether he did it under compulsion or not.
I looked into that, and I didn't find any other ways we could pursue.
Without knowing who has the capability to do it, we can't point a finger at who compulsed him.
So basically, this trial is going to lead to Fred's conviction. If we do it right.
And if we do it wrong, it leads to Fred and Barkley's conviction.
Oh, the pressure. I love it. All right. Do we need to think of anything else? Anything else that the prosecution might say that would completely derail the cloaks?
It's hard to predict exactly what they're thinking. They're tricky. And who knows what Scars will say.
Monkey brain.
How do we think the piece of fabric got on Barkley's shoulder?
Well, if they were placed in his room, it was probably placed on Barkley. The cloaks are invisibility cloaks.
There.
The cloaks are invisibility cloaks. There's no way he could have seen who was doing it. And 2, they were distracted by a fight. Chris was about to... he was talking to Chris and the fight was about to start. He wouldn't have noticed somebody placing it on him.
Right.
So,
I think we're ready.
Before you go further, I actually want to take a step back. So we have to do this. I want an ability battle for presenting the evidence that Barkley is too professional to make that type of poison. And it's going to be Toto and Quinn.
Toto and Quinn.
Yeah, I didn't say anything there.
The only one I have is Crowd Wrangler, but I don't know if we want to trust that.
Well, the whole crowd was disgusted by the fact that Barkley uses poison and has killed a lot of people.
Yeah, I have to make a DT-17 performance check. And on a success, they subtract a D12 from their roll. But if I fail, we subtract a D12.
Mm-hmm.
That's the only one I have that you don't that could possibly be of use.
I'm trying to figure out what I want to use as my base. I'm thinking
Intelligence.
it's actually going to be wisdom.
You're using wisdom as a base?
Yeah,
What's your wisdom?
+2.
Alright, you know what? That's fine.
Nessa's almost charismatic, and Quinn is almost smart. That's how I keep these characters okay. Like, I can play a high charisma as long as their intelligence isn't too high, and I can play a high intelligence as long as their charisma isn't too high.
Anyway.
So we're gonna use straight talk, and the reason I'm doing wisdom is because I get a +5 from that when that's my base.
Okay.
We're gonna use truthful tunes, because there's no reason not to, and we are telling the truth here.
Actually, Toto's gonna pull out liar.
What the
I don't
fuck,
have
Toto?
liar. I don't have that. What are you talking about?
Is it 1 plus your mod, or is it 2?
Truthful beats? Oh no, sorry, that's 2. I think no, it's 2. It's 2 plus your mod.
Or was it
yeah.
your proficiency bonus plus your?
No, it's 2 plus your modifier.
Okay.
Okay.
So
So
we
I have 2 more left.
Remember, you all are sharing the same amount.
Yes. Yeah. What did you say you have, Toto?
The only one that would be really helpful is Crowd Wrangler. Unless you want me to start flirting with the prosecution.
You did that earlier, and I don't think it helped us.
It got rid of Casper, didn't it?
He was already walking away.
It was beneficial to me.
Because you got to look at his sweet dexterous ass.
Maybe.
Let's not pretend like Quinn wasn't staring at you too.
Later found dead in my home.
I hate to see you come, but I love to see you go.
I'm going to die.
Oh.
Suicide.
What's happening? All right, so is Crowd Wrangler being used?
I don't know. Is it?
How does Crowd Wrangler work?
I rolled
DT17 performance.
Yeah, I roll a performance check against a DT17, and if I make it, they subtract a D12 from their roll. But if I fail, we have to subtract a D12.
What's your performance?
6.
So we have slightly less than a 50% chance of it working.
You also have 2 coins.
2 coins.
We do have 2 coins. And the D12 is a lot. It's what makes Sweet Talk so good. Is that 1 TP?
Yes.
All right, go for it, buddy.
All right, we're gonna do Crowd Wrangler.
You ready for the failure? Oh, are you ready for the failure?
Oh, do you want me to roll it right now?
Yeah, go for it.
Yeah.
You gotta see if the ability goes off or not.
Yeah. I have to see how it goes.
By 1? Are you kidding me?
You coin it?
By 1?
Yeah, we coin it.
Yeah, we're coining
that was
that
kind
shit.
of funny. That was really funny.
Well, good news is it's a D12, right?
Yeah.
Can always hope for a low roll.
James,
it's a subtract, right? It's not a plus on them.
It's a subtract. What is this bullshit? What is this? Is there no +1 I can give myself? What is this bullshit?
Unless you have a Beastmaster ability that allows you to add something, but I don't think you do.
I don't think I do. Let me read through my shit real quick, because this is bull.
Or unless Erwin has something. Well, Erwin's not yet. I don't think crafters have anything for that. That you have currently on your kit.
Yeah, not that I have on my kit.
I don't think Quinn has any support spells.
Do you want form will armor?
What? That's not a support.
That's the support tree though.
No, it's not. That's the will tree. There's literally a
wanna-
restoration tree and a warding tree.
Oh, I forgot those existed.
Yeah, no, the closest
Sorry,
I have.
That's Wolf and Ian's territory. I don't touch that anymore.
Yeah,
I'm not playing Kaminari anymore, so.
The closest I have is inspiring stance, but it's saving throws, not ability tests.
Get cooked. All right, so is that all the abilities you're adding?
No, we're just gonna throw my persuasion.
All right.
Yeah, we only get one of those, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. Just making sure there was nothing where we could act. Like, kind of cucked us by losing by 1.
What are you imposing on me, James?
So you're taking a -8 because the crowd doesn't like you.
That's understandable, buddy.
And because personally in this argument was Meek and Casper, you're dealing with their abilities. And Casper is just gonna throw a Mudslinger on you, so that's another -4, so you're at a -12. And then Meek's gonna throw on.
Unless either of us has last word, I'm not adding these up until the end. I'm just typing a lot of modifiers in.
And then Meek's gonna add in dramatic, sorry. Which I forgot what it does. I think I know what it does. Let's see.
We could always throw in Fortress.
I should have just done show off. Well, I didn't. Fortress only negates like 3. And so I was like, yeah, I'll take the +8 from my persuasion instead.
All right. Yeah, no, that's it's another -3. They're just piling on negatives. So you're at like a -15 in total, and that's gonna be what they do. And they're gonna give themselves, let's see here, a plus. Where's weak modifier?
Unless I roll really well on my 2d6 and really poorly on the d12, I'm gonna lose this.
What do you mean?
Yeah.
James, I'm gonna be at a net negative.
What do you mean?
I'm waiting to roll a negative total, James.
I'm sorry, you
That'd
guys
be
made,
funny.
I'm sorry, you guys made a bad argument.
We didn't.
We did. Yeah.
Literally, there was a point where Quinn was like, "You know what? That's a good point."
I was about to butt in and say something that I was thinking myself, and then I realized, wait, I'm arguing for the prosecution if I say that.
Yeah.
All right, and then Meek's gonna give a +8, and a
To me?
No, to herself. And Casper.
But Erwin's on our side.
All right, so they're gonna be rolling at a +13 in total. All right.
Yeah, we're losing.
I'm doing it.
All right, let's.
So, there's no point in coining either of these.
No.
Did you get an 8?
Yep.
Yeah, we got -8.
We got an 8, James.
You're up pretty high on that D12.
Yeah, and I rolled like pretty average on the 2d6s. So.
No, you rolled below average on the 2d6s. Let's not mince words.
Yeah.
Let's not mince words here.
Yeah.
All right, on that point, you see afterwards. Sorry, this is before you guys go into a little where he says that it looks like the crowd may be leaning more towards the prosecution side when it comes to the poison argument.
Which I don't blame them right now.
All right, so then you guys
really got to pull it in with the cloaks, guys.
So you guys come in with the cloak argument. Who's gonna lead this charge?
Now that I've forgotten my train of thought.
Is Erwin gonna step up and lead the charge?
Oh god. Sure. What the fuck did I say 10 minutes ago before this whole thing happened?
You talking about how did how the fabric get on
Yeah.
the cloak?
Yeah. Okay. Gotcha. No.
Go for it. Whenever you're ready, Aaron.
Yeah. All right. So the next piece of evidence that we're going to be presenting is this invisibility cloak. Well, this scrap specifically that was found on Barkley. I assume you all have identified it as an invisibility cloak at this point?
Precisely.
Well, this scrap that was found on Barkley, what the fuck?
Speaking of body!
Scrap that was found on Barkley connects back with a whole invisibility cloak that we found underneath his bed. However, it was found with a second invisibility cloak. While both
he likes. Go ahead.
no,
keep
no,
going.
sorry, no, I'll let them say something there.
So he likes collecting cloaks. What does that have to do with anything?
Well, the invisibility cloak that we found on him, do we believe that to be part of this case? Well, sorry, do you believe that to be crucial in this case?
Well, you guys were bringing up the fact that how hard it'd be to do things, and we were thinking if Barkley couldn't poison anyone, then he would have an accomplice just in case to finish the job.
I'm not too certain how well the evidence room was labeled, but I'm assuming you don't realize what this scrap here is. And I'm gonna pull out the scrap that we found underneath the table, James.
Leanne said you found that scrap under the table.
Okay, I didn't know how much Leanne knew. That's correct, actually. We found it underneath the table. Now, this did not match up with either of the cloaks that we found underneath Barkley's bed. This matched up instead with the cloak with the cloak of a person with the cloak that we found in the room of another person.
There's a bit of confusion in the crowd. And who's this person?
This person is none other than Fred. I would put a last name in there, but I don't know Fred's last name.
That was just very anticlimactic. We found it with Fred.
Last name meet with the birthday generator earlier.
His last name is suggest. Write me some last names. Connor.
Cool.
None other than Fred Connor.
We found it in the room of Fred Connor.
You mean someone else on your team?
Yes.
All right, so blah blah blah, confusing cloak stuff. It just means that he had help. He's part of your team. Doesn't make any sense. The guy likes collecting weird silver, I don't know, weird looking cloaks. Puts one on, gives someone else. It's open, shut, boring. He's guilty. Let's be done with it.
But if he were the one in charge of this, and in fact using invisibility cloaks to commit this murder, would he not keep the cloak somewhere less obvious than his room? Referencing Barkley, specifically.
I mean, it makes sense. You can't go into someone's room without permission.
Here's a question that I would like to ask. Just something to pose. I don't actually have an answer for this. What was the point of the invisibility cloak scrap that we found on Barkley?
There's a bit of silence as Meek's sort of is a bit perplexed by it. Casper clears his throat. Of course, he may have had it on. He maybe had it on him, and when he took it off, it teared off a piece.
How could he have it on him when literally everybody in the cafeteria had their eyes on him? If he was wearing it and it was turned on, once you turn it on when you're wearing it, your entire body goes invisible. Nobody would have seen Barkley at breakfast, or lunch, breakfast, whatever it was that the murder occurred, James. I don't remember. Anyway, if he was wearing it, we wouldn't have everybody witnessing him fight Chris. So what else could have been the point of the scrap on his shoulder, other than that somebody placed it there?
Maybe he thought it was a bit too boring to go in and invisible like, and he changed his plan last second, took the cloak off, and the thing was still on him.
Then where did the cloak go during the argument?
You said there were two people. Maybe he handed it off so he could put it away later.
But there was no time between him leaving the lunchroom, during which Toto chased him, and him being taken captive. There was no time for him to hand off the cloak he had, or hand off the cloak he had to his accomplice, or take it back to his room himself.
You seem to
So by all
misunderstand.
means, if he had a cloak with him, it would have been taken into custody with him.
You may seem to misunderstand. The brute was saying that this happened before lunch, that he met up with his accomplice and did the swapping and changing of plans before they entered the cafeteria.
How do we bring up how long Fred has had the cloaks for?
Well, my friend Toto here is a Pathfinder. So
look at my buddy Toto here.
So with Toto and I guess Toto and actually so somebody has a wisdom score? I think he does.
I have a wisdom of 12.
He has a +1.
Yeah, well, okay, whoever has a plus
Quinn
one.
has a +2.
All right.
+2.
So for Quinn and Toto, you guys do notice that the crowd has shifted. Maybe So like, what's your reaction to all this? Actually, how do you feel? Feel like they're doing a good job?
Wait a second.
Oh.
Is this a reaction?
Yes.
Beautiful.
Somebody seems very, very disappointed. So you guys see that it looks like the crowd seems to be on the fence about this one. There's no like clear winner right now for this argument.
I mean, that is fair. This one is fairly on the fence. There's been good evidences brought out on both sides.
And then, sorry, you said, how do we bring up the fact that they have cloaks for the longest? I think, was there a question mentioned after that?
I don't believe so.
All right. So then the last thing said was basically the exchange happened before lunch, which then throws back to you.
Let me see. I'm sorry. I'm just trying to think of.
Wait, that's wrong.
Response here.
Barkley would never put on silver. It's not his color.
It really isn't, but anyway.
You guys gonna be stumped here? Is this how I get you? Do I win another round?
No, I'm piecing something together, I think. It's not a good thing though. Yeah, I don't think it works. Doesn't check out.
The only thing I can think of is that Barkley walked in with other people. He left when everybody else in his room left.
Yeah, but we don't know who. And also, this was to lunch, so it would have been from a class, most likely.
And also, Fred came to Barkley's room that morning to talk to him,
so
which could have been when they had.
Yeah, that's why I haven't said anything about that. Is because I'm like, that could very easily be the time when they could have passed off the cloak.
Yeah, we know the true timeline, but it's a matter of proving the timeline.
If that's the case, how did the cloak tear so easily?
Your point?
Well, I believe most people's natural instinct when they saw that tear was to believe that it was done during the fight. The cloth doesn't just tear if you try and take something off.
It may tear if you're crawling under a lunchroom table, but it shouldn't tear if you're simply taking it off, especially since Barkley doesn't wear anything specific, especially spiky.
There's a bit of silence to try to think about it.
Where was the tear located on the cloak?
It's about the same level. It's about where it would have ended up on him. I already talked about this.
Okay. I couldn't remember.
Because if it was at the foot and it was on the shoulder,
Yeah,
I would have been like,
You're like,
how the fuck did that happen? Explain that.
Explain how this happened. There's a bit of silence. I mean, they do make a good point, and then you see everyone. The prosecutor just stares at scars. What? It's hard to tear fabric. I mean, unless you have a knife, then it's really easy to tear fabric.
my point exactly. If you have a knife, it's easy to intentionally tear fabric and place it on someone's shoulder.
Yes, but I guess mistakes can happen, and ability battle.
Oh fuck.
This time
Erwin
all
leads
three of
this
you are
one,
here.
right?
Whoever can lead it can lead it. I just said Erwin couldn't be in the last one because he didn't say a single word.
Yeah.
What are we
see.
using for this one, and who's leading?
Let me
Raw
pull up my social
Raw
trees.
talent.
Raw talent. Yep, that's what we're
You know
gonna
what?
use at
Here's
this
how I
point.
solidify my argument. I got a mad riff that can really
Also,
blow you
question,
away.
Are we
What's
ever
up?
planning on actually bringing Fred to the stand and making him say
No.
that he admitted it?
No.
It's gonna depend on how it goes, honestly.
I mean, Fred's likely coming to the stand in the next step of this trial.
Yeah, prosecution's probably going to call him to the stand.
Yeah, and if he doesn't, I think we should.
Yeah.
I mean, yeah.
James is like, God damn it! I was hoping they wouldn't do that.
I'm vibing.
James is just
Imagine if
here.
we had never connected Fred to this.
Oh, it would have been more fun for me. I'm the great.
You're gonna be so lost right
I
now.
kind of made it kind of obvious.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Doesn't mean we're good.
Random NPC is suddenly very interested in going into the room of a murderer.
Yeah, that I knew the moment that you brought him up, I was like, that's a little sus. And the fact that he pointed out, hey, you should go into Barkley's room, I was like, he's trying to make us find something.
All right. Anyway, what's going on?
My bad.
Garrett, are you taking charge or am I?
I don't think I have enough stuff to take charge. I'll be real. I'm looking at the stuff I have, and I forgot how split I am.
How even? How just average? How just well-rounded I am as a
Look,
human
I have
being.
like points in every tree. All right.
All right, we're going to be using charisma. I don't know why I turned into Din Dun.
I think we should, Captain. I don't like where this is going.
We're gonna use charisma this time, James.
Okay. Abilities.
We're going to use. I think this is where I use show off. Why? Because it's funny.
What are you showing off? How are you showing off?
How are you showing off?
That is the question.
You do logical circles around them. You trying to show how wrong they are.
I feel like that's Crumbler.
Well, you're not actively attacking. You're basically just flaunting your point. I'm trying to help you out.
Yeah, that's fair. Which in reality Crumbler's a good play, but not right now.
Save that trap card for later.
Save that for when I go back to using an intelligence or wisdom base.
To hardcore mode, you can only use social ability once this entire session. You cannot reuse social abilities. Hard mode.
No.
All right, so now we have to use Sweet Talk and Fortress because I haven't used them yet. But we're probably gonna go back to Truthful Tunes for another 2d6, because that's just good.
Okay. Too much. All right.
Can we use Erwin's investigation modifier?
My
Yeah.
investigation mod
Yeah.
as my TP.
Yeah.
My investigation isn't great.
I thought you were an intelligence boy.
I am. I don't have proficiency in investigation. I mean, expertise.
No. Oh, damn. I thought I was being clever there.
No.
Erwin's just smart. He's not.
Erwin's
trying-
more book smart than he is
Murder
like,
investigation
yeah.
smart.
My investigation is I'm only good at investigation because of my social abilities.
I see.
If I'm going to be contributing anything, it's probably just going to be a fast talk.
Yeah. I don't have fast talk, so I'll take that. What's fast talk give you?
It's a -5 to their roll. Because we're using charisma as our base.
-5 to them.
We could always try Crowd Wrangler again, but
no.
That's all I have.
No.
I
say no to Crowd
coins.
Yeah, if you want to know everything that I have, I have Sweet Talk, Straight Talk, Fortress, Flirt, Playful, Artistic, Raw Talent, and Crowd Wrangler.
We're gonna go with Last Word.
Hell yeah.
Because I know Meek is very good at imposing penalties. So I think that's gonna help us. Because when that goes off, I can add 2 more abilities. So I'm gonna keep those 2 aside and not pick them.
What are you talking about? What do you mean, Meek?
This.
He's good.
Look, I'm being smart about this, James, okay?
What are you talking?
Because when my overall mod comes out to be lower than theirs, I get at least something out of it. That is 3 right now.
You guys ready for a funny ha-ha?
A funny ha-ha?
Keep going.
Does the prosecution concede?
Yeah, they can see.
I'm trying to think. I think we are going to use show off, because I think every time we brought up, anytime they brought up an argument for like,
all right, cool.
Why the cloak's like, yeah, it could just like be on him. Things happen. We were like, but you're wrong. And you see, Scars, you're right. Like a knife is a good way to like cut something off. As with this, like we just kind of bounced off anything they brought up, and I think that was really impressive.
You sweet talking these mother.
That's show off.
Show off. Sorry, you're showing off. Go for it. Go ahead and show off then.
So my goal is gonna be to roll a 6. Okay, we want a nat 1, but it's fine because I still get a +5 for rolling higher than it. I was pretty close though.
Is that your coward's way out?
What, using statistics to figure out what number I should intend to roll? Maybe.
They have a point.
I didn't spend
Coward.
10 minutes doing math for nothing, James.
Coward.
2, 3, 4, 5. I get 2 more. We're gonna do my persuasion because I'm a wimp.
All right.
And then we're gonna do I think, we can concede that they had some good points in the prior argument, but there are, like, any rebuttal they've come up with in this one has kind of fallen short. So I can concede a little bit to them on that, so we're going to use dealer.
Okay, what are you giving them?
They will take the -4, and I will take the +2.
That's changed. It's either you get a +4, they get a -3, or you get a D8 and they get a -2.
It changed again?
Yes, to make it more cool. I
Sorry,
mentioned
okay.
this a while ago, like 3 weeks ago.
Give me those numbers again.
You will either add a +4 to your roll and give a -3 to their roll, or you will add a D8 to your roll and give a -2 to their roll.
Okay.
Yeah.
We'll take the D8.
Okay. So you've given them a -7 right now?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Is that all the abilities you're adding?
2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Yes.
All right, you guys are getting a
so-
plus. Go ahead.
I was just gonna roll my couple dice to figure out what my actual mods are here.
All right, you guys are getting a +5 from the crowd. And then that roll I did earlier was my version of the beautiful thing that Toto tried to do. So you guys are gonna take a -D12 to your roll. Or is it? No, it's add. Sorry, it's add to my roll. Sorry, it's add.
Yeah,
I get a D12, so I get a D12 in my roll now.
Mhm.
Thank you, Toto, for the inspiration.
I hate Meek. I hate Meek so much.
And then Casper's gonna come in.
No,
and
it's we subtract a D12 from our roll.
Is it subtract? Okay, then there you go.
Oh,
Yeah, I have it pulled up. It's we subtract a D12 from our roll.
Do you want to roll the D12 or do you want me to?
I don't care.
I was talking to James.
Maximum. You can do it. Maximum. Thank you. I pretend too much. All right, thanks for negating your truthful beats. And then Casper's gonna go in and throw in that good old -4 mudslinging like usual. And gonna add in our persuasion again. Add in that. So they're gonna be rolling at a with the negatives.
I gave them a -7.
Mm-hmm. They're gonna be rolling at a +6 right now. Not pulling out all the stops just yet, so +6 to them. You guys ready? Make sure I have that +5 I gave you. You ready?
Yeah, I'll just type out my roll real quick.
You're using a modifier, right?
Last word didn't go off, so my modifier is higher than theirs right now.
No, what I'm asking, you're using a,
You're using persuasion or something.
Yeah.
Okay. I'm just making sure. I forgot. That's why I was clarifying.
Yeah, I threw persuasion in there because I'm a wimp. Alright, let's go, James. Hey.
Don't A. I'm on a coin.
Wait, why are you at a +16?
That's what my calculator gave me.
Oh wait, no,
Nice.
I'm sorry, I was misreading. I thought that James had given himself a +16, and I was like, what the fuck?
+5 -9 -4. Yeah, +16.
No, that's right. Yeah.
Are you coining me or you?
Crit.
Didn't crit. He coined himself.
I didn't want to risk you getting higher number. That was obtainable.
Yeah, that is.
Wait,
Yeah.
Hey, we still have a chance to reroll.
No, it's a
No,
it's
why?
a better
Why
chance.
would we do
I would literally have you have to roll.
We're
You have to
literally
nat
guys,
one.
Guys, my eyes are completely I don't like the way that
I
raw
can't
rolling
see.
like that is formatted.
I can't see.
No, I really just do not like the way that these rolls are formatted.
All right,
Well, it's
so
you. We won this
so-
round.
looks like the crowd is in your favor as you guys move on to what they say next, which is, you know what? Let's play around with the idea that Barkley isn't someone who'd plan out accomplices and have cloaks. Then that would mean that Fred Connor did this.
Yeah. Yeah,
Yes.
he did.
So
Yeah.
then, shall we bring him to the stand then?
Yep, that is the next logical step in this trial.
You see, like, a man who's probably shat himself multiple times shamble to the stage,
You need more Pepto-Bismol.
like he's walking to death row.
Because
And
he
sits
is.
down.
I feel so bad for Fred, but at the same time, I don't.
Prosecution, you go first. So, did you do it? You see, like, Scars just slam his hands into him, causing Fred to jump. What? Did you do it? Did you poison? Did you do it? Did you poison her? Yes, I did. Yes, I poisoned her. There, done. Can we
I
leave
would
now?
object for pressuring the witness, but I wanted him to admit it, so.
Can we leave now? You look over at everyone. That isn't. How about you sit down, Scars? I just confessed. Can we let's just kick them both out? He just walks off. Okay. So, Fred, you're saying you did poison Juno? Yeah. Okay. And how did you do that? I poisoned the food. All right. How'd you manage to poison the food? I was given an invisibility cloak. I put it on, used it, and I used it to poison the food while Barkley was fighting. Okay. And did Barkley know about this plan? As far as I know, he didn't. As far as you know, okay. So, who did you work alone then? No. Who did you work with? I I don't know. You don't know who who you were working with? I don't know what I was doing. I just felt like I needed to. It was weird, and then I did it, and I feel like someone told me to do it, but I don't know who told me to do it. So, could you say you were being manipulated? Yes. Could this manipulation could have been messing with your mind? Yeah. Fred, do you think a poison could mess with your mind? Probably. I'm not too good with poisons.
Or with, like, a
Objection.
Objection.
No, I'm just kidding. No, that's for cross examination time.
Yeah, that is for cross-examination.
So, do you think an assassin could make a poison to manipulate minds? I would say so. Okay. And would you think a good assassination plan would be have someone else do the poisoning? Yeah, that you actually like thinks that for a second. That'd be a really good idea.
That would be a really good idea. Which is why somebody else did it.
So you're saying so just to get it clear, you're saying you did poison Juno, but you don't remember who helped you with it. Did you make the poison? No. Did you buy the cloaks? No, I didn't. Did you do anything? I poisoned? Oh my god. They're so. Who even are you? Are you even going to school? I've been here since like day one.
It's about where we were in the case, you know?
God, does this guy even go to the school? Come on. Can we just move on from this? Settle down, Scars. So you're saying you don't know how you got the cloak, you don't know how you got the poison, you don't even know why you were doing it, but you did do it. Yeah. No further questions. Vince?
All right. To start with, I would like to ask you something, Caspar.
You just go right ahead.
So, which is it? Is Barkley's poison work ingenious or flawed because he was rushed?
He'll smile.
Damn.
Because I looked into those books. I looked into a poison like that, and it's incredibly hard to make, and the ingredients are not readily available at this school.
Then, perhaps, I will submit that Barkley would not have enough time to create poison in that likelihood. But there are other methods of mind control, and it's very clear Barkley had some access, or someone had access, to some type of magical black market or even a magical item shop.
That's very fair. I will concede to that is something that could happen. Again, those magic items would have to be quite potent and powerful, made by a skilled craftsman. But
So, like Finn? Did Finn do it? These scars genuinely actions you.
I don't believe Finn has any sort of motive to poison his own teammate, even if it is to get rid of Barkley.
No, it's pretty funny watching her squirm like that. I think that's motive enough.
Seeing as Finn has been at Juno's bedside the entire time she's been afflicted with this, it doesn't seem as though he's the one he would have wished it upon her.
Right, no one's going to bring Finn into this because it makes no sense whatsoever, Scars. You see Meeg actually getting a little frustrated. Sorry, Erwin, continue.
Fuck, I have to bring up another point.
The real point of Scars being here. Keep going.
Yeah, distracting me so that I don't think of anything.
Oh no! Why would James would never do something like that?
Yeah.
Also, the most effective time, the most convenient time one would have had an opportunity to purchase such a potent magical item, if they don't have the means to create it here, would have been during Spirit Oasis, which didn't we discuss that Barkley wouldn't have acted so impulsively as to start preparing then?
As to
Not preparing, more of enacting something.
Oh fuck, you're right.
He is known. He's a known assassin, and Guild Troy is a very large area, especially the capital of Troy. Yeah, I wouldn't think it'd be too much of a stretch to think he would have contacts in Troy, especially of all places, to get something rare enough. And if you said himself, he's premeditative, he's very intelligent. Maybe he was working toward a plan of manipulation. And the reason why it took so long was because he was waiting for the right target. You know what, Quinn? That's actually a great idea. Thank you for bringing it up.
Guys, I'm gonna go kill myself.
I thought you had something, and then you instantly just strengthened their argument, and I was like,
I thought I had something, but then as soon as I said it, I was like, oh.
Oh, wait.
Wait, I don't.
This would mean that he is premeditated. Oh, shit.
Sorry.
Mr. Wright, please think before you present your evidence.
Taps will whisper, like, talk to you. I don't think they're doing too good, Sully.
I don't either.
You think you could have helped them at all?
Oh, we could, yeah.
Why don't we? Maybe we can try to convince them that we need more help? You say anything?
I'm trying to think of how to unfuck the situation. I can't.
Wait, someone say, you guys, wait, Sully, do you want to get in there?
I don't think I can do much better.
That's not the question. Do you want to get in there or not?
I guess the question is, would I be of any help?
I object! Porter stands up. What? This is unfair. I'm
Ouch.
sorry. Who are you? I'm Porter. What do you mean who I am? Oh, you're the one that sneaks out of homeroom almost every week. I have no idea what you're talking about, but that's none of your concern right now. I think it's unfair that it's 3 versus 1 right now. It's 3 on 3. No, you know what I mean. It's 3 whole teams versus 1. They've had like triple the amount of like brains mushed together. And we have Toto, for God's sake, on our side.
Porter, this is no time to be throwing slander at me.
No, he has a point.
Why don't I just walk out of the damn room?
No, not towards you, Soto. Though that was a funny thing. This is Leanne. I do realize that there are multiple teams who had time to coordinate while your resources were very were spread very thinly. And also take into account of the emotional turmoil that Quinn's in. Prosecution, would you mind if a 4th member stepped in? It seems a bit chaotic to happen right in the middle of a trial. I think if it means it goes by faster, I'm okay with it. And so he like sort of looks over. Then I guess that relies on you, then, Meek. Meek's actually gonna side eye you, Erwin. She's gonna look at you. Do you do anything or make any gestures?
I don't know. Honestly, I don't know if Erwin would even notice too much.
Are you not
I
paying
guess
attention to the conversation?
No, he would. Yeah, no, I realize now. Following the conversation, he'd be looking at Meek. I fucking hell. I'll just kind of sigh because before this, I was probably looking at Quinn like, yeah, all right, you just did that.
All right, Erwin. Need to look at something. Your dexterity.
My dexterity. It's the peel rating you want?
Or not dexterity. I want. Yeah, what's your dexterity peel rating?
D8.
Roll me a D20 plus a D8.
How dexterous of an ass do you have?
How dexterous is that ass? Jesus Christ.
Crit.
You
The appeal
crit,
rating
but
did
then
it
fumbled
better.
the fucking D8.
You see Meek. You can see Meek fighting with herself and genuinely getting frustrated before she just takes a deep breath and calms down. I think it'd be fair if they got some help. All right, then. Not sure what that was about, but anyone up there in Team Wood want to come down?
It's time.
Sullivan emerges from underneath the desk.
He like
That's actually what happens.
He goes
He
underneath
teleports.
and pops up with a different one.
He just teleports under the desk and emerges from behind it.
All right, Sully.
Sully, were you there the whole time?
No, I just got here.
Interesting. Weird darkness attuned stuff. So, Sully, I'm guessing you're stepping up?
Yes, sir.
Oh, you're not particularly wild today. This should be interesting then.
Well, when my friends are in trouble, I'm here to help.
All right then. Perhaps then a very brief recess as we regather our thoughts. Fred, don't worry. You sit there tight right there, sweating. Oh, okay. All right, all 4 of you have gotten a chance to regroup.
All
Okay,
right.
I forgot what the last point that was brought up is, other than me fucking up.
Quinn just kind of fucked us.
Shut up, Toto.
Gwen, you be quiet.
The last point that was brought up was Erwin making the argument, one, that it was that if you think that he was too hasty to make a poison or he wouldn't have enough resources or time, then how do you make something so complex? And then he brought up the argument of magic items, which then Erwin countered saying that would be a very hard magic item to find, so it still doesn't add up. And then Quinn bolstered the argument by saying, well, he basically just giving him the idea of, wait, he's in Troy, the biggest city, and he's a lone assassin. He may have connections.
So I'm a dumb bitch.
That's where we left off at. I think Erwin was going to say something, but lost the train of thought because I used the power of scars. Keep going.
No, I was gonna have to bring it up to another point, so I didn't really know where I was gonna go with at that point.
Okay. So go ahead, party.
All right. Well, we could always. Question him about when he got the cloaks and what he was doing.
The problem is he doesn't actually have memory of when he got the cloaks.
But he has
He just
memory.
has memory of having them.
You're right, he doesn't have memory of how he got the cloaks. But what he does have memory of...
The hard part is that we could connect him with the cloaks in the bar, but the problem is that nobody saw the cloaks getting passed over. All we know is that Casper was close to him at the bar.
What he does have memory of is having the cloaks when he woke up, and not having the cloaks when he went to find the bar.
That is a good point.
And he has an alibi, I believe, for almost the entire time.
And he hasn't really talked or been close to Barkley since Spirit Oasis, right? The only time he talked to Barkley was that morning.
And he had the cloaks before that morning. Well, rather before he
had all
Barkley.
3 of them before that morning.
I don't know.
And he can't confirm that when he went to Barkley's room that morning, he wanted to put the cloaks in there. Now, you could say that Barkley had basically manipulated him into wanting to put them in there for safekeeping. But he specifically put them under the bed, first off, which is an awful hiding place. He had a locked chest that he could have put them in. And 2, it was very clear that when Fred had us go to the room for his quote-unquote stomach ache, he wanted us to look in the room, and as far as I know, those cloaks were pretty visible, weren't they?
They were just under the bed.
I will remind you, the reason he told you guys the reason why he wants to go in the room because he was compelled to go into the room so he can stuff the cloaks in there while everyone wasn't looking.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. And then he made a point of pointing us to Barkley's room, as if he wanted us to find the cloaks there. Because we knew that the cloaks were connected to the case.
Yeah, sure. Go ahead, Rebel.
No.
Now, there's no... Yeah, because Rebel still brought up, Quinn still brought up the point of he could have gotten the cloaks at Spirit Oasis. And honestly, no. If they try to bring the point up that Barkley could have had them and passed them on to him sooner, planted them somewhere, then we can bring on the whole, who was seen in the bar with him. Barkley wasn't in the bar. Barkley probably doesn't even know that there is one. Or if he does, it's because of some other people.
Fred had someone witnessing him for the entire time that his memory was blank.
Mm-hmm.
Exactly.
Defense, this isn't meant to be a whole lunch break.
Sorry, sir.
Right. Toto, you take charge.
What do you mean I take charge?
Sully, you take charge. Push him forward.
All right, I'll do it.
All right, Sully's taking charge.
I haven't paid attention, so I think it's time we start back from ground one and rebuild our argument.
Except for the invisibility cloaks, that part was good.
Is Sully taking over? Is Toto taking over?
It's time.
Sully wants to take over.
It's time to corner them in pursuit.
Sully, how do you bring up that you want to take over?
He slams his hands down onto the table.
All right.
Your Honor, I'd like to lead the defense in our next argument.
Says the Quinn.
Oh, am I Your Honor? I thought Leanne was Your Honor, and I was wondering.
Nah,
Yeah,
I'm
that's what I thought.
Nah, I'm joking. That was a joke.
No, he's
All
just
right,
professor.
then. I like Your Honor. You know what? You don't get a turn. Sully gets a turn first. Go ahead. Bring us back in.
The witness currently on stand, Fred, correct?
Yeah.
But right now, we'd like to put this entire moment on hold and take a step back to ground zero. The poisoning. The poison itself.
Wait, what?
What?
Oh, you really meant you're taking a step back.
I believe we already tried this ground, but suppose we can entertain it.
It's the point where I have to start thinking.
Em-
My brain had started thinking.
Oh my god.
I had to remember one name and the name of the poisoner.
The name of the guy we're defending?
No, not the guy we're defending. Our teacher, Jux.
Yeah.
I would like to call up a professional on poisoning and potions in
we can
the court.
just give Jux's testimony.
Yeah, I was waiting for it to happen.
We can present Jux's testimony. It's
Oh,
a
wait.
little note
Ooh.
card that I have.
All right, let me go get Jux. Give me a few moments. You guys, after a few minutes, sorry, you hear the bickering of Jux as she comes into the homeroom. You know how hard it is to get that exact combination? Leanne, I've had to use it 3 times to heal your broken eye. I understand, but they're asking you. It would be a fun time to interact with your students. Screw my students. What do you guys want? She comes down.
Miss Jux, I have called you here as a witness to testify in the current case against Barkley, leader of Team Wood.
So you're the one who called.
Yes, ma'am. I would like you to testify to the court the quality of the poison we showed to you.
I'll testify, and I'll also make a note of your face, Sully. She'll sit down. What do you mean by
refer to the last
quality?
Phoenix Wright gif I posted?
Sweaty face. What am I testifying against again?
The quality of the poison that was used to poison Quinn's sister.
Amateur work at best. Very sloppily put together.
And also, was this poison meant to kill?
It could kill. Any poison can kill with a certain amount of potency behind it. But toward Juno, it could kill. Toward Chris, no. Hardly do anything to him. Look what it did to Juno. It only put her in a mere state of paralysis with minor bleeding and things like that.
He's going to slam a fist down on the table. And I want this to be made clear. You say that it is enough to kill only someone of Juno's stature and not Chris.
Yes, I mean, it could kill Chris. It would just be very shocking if it actually got that far.
So you are absolutely certain that the probability of him being killed by this poison is very minimal.
Yes, at the best, it would put him in a state of paralysis as well, maybe make him slightly worse for wear for a few weeks, but it wouldn't kill him.
The defense would again like to bring emphasis to that point.
All right.
The prosecution's entire argument right now is that this was an attack against not only Chris, but Juno as well. Had Barkley intended to actually kill, he would have used a correct lethal dosage for Chris, and it would be obvious that Juno would be dead by now.
You got a point.
Does the defense rest?
Not yet, Your Honor. I would also like to make it a point of our witness's statement on the quality of the poison. Rushed, low quality garbage. Now, as we all recall Chris's accusation of Barkley, leader of Team Wood, Barkley is a supposed member of the Dark Tribes. A notorious assassin. Why would a notorious assassin use subpar, cheap garbage if his entire goal was to knock off Chris? He's going to, of course, during that time, gesture towards the jury or the audience.
Mm.
And if we are to be believed from the defendant's first testimony of his techniques in poisoning, he would want to make sure that his acts of murder carried through. Which leads me to my first point. Barkley didn't cause the poisoning. It is, of course, my theory that this is a false flag to try and incriminate Barkley. And that's all I have to say on the matter. How's that sound, guys?
Who are you addressing this to? Your team or their team?
I think it turns back to us. That was like
turns
was
towards
that
the
good?
council. Like, did I do good?
Did I do
Did
good?
I do good?
Sully,
You're doing better than me,
you have
Sully.
never been more perfect, Sully. That was beautiful.
I've never been more turned on my entire life.
No,
That's Toto's inner dialogue.
Toto has. The
Yeah,
first time of
Wicked Sully came out, yeah.
Oh yeah. It's like, oh, Sully can top me too.
Oh, Sully
Ooh.
can top me. All right, so
Jesus Christ, guy.
you're the one who started this. So, with that, Sully, if you glance over at the prosecution, you see everyone's a bit frustrated, but you see that Casper has a very dejected and annoyed look on his face.
Like, I thought I won.
Damn. Then I
Alright.
suppose now we should get back to the matter of Fred, actually.
Well, hang on.
No.
Okay.
If we're going to go back to square one, Casper will smile. Then let's go back to square one, the fair way, shall we, Prince? You'll wait. Or are you too privileged to allow the prosecution to talk to Jux as well?
Prosecution
I
is
forgot that's
allowed
a
a fair
step.
trial.
I forgot that's a step, guys. I'm used to us going second.
Then, Jux, I do not want to take up too much of your time. You are a very busy woman. Exactly. And I thank you for the time you spend here. Now, to get started, would you say that the poison used was a result? You do clarify it's amateur, right? Correct? Yes. And you do say that it wasn't meant to kill? Yes. Now, would you say that its intention was not to kill but to scare? Or would you rather say that it was just so poorly made it couldn't kill the desired target? I can't say that it had the intention to put on a show. All I know is that when it was used, did not have any type of way to kill the target effectively. So would it be what's your expert opinion? Would you say that it was that this poison might have been an attempt of an amateur trying to kill someone and overestimating their abilities? What they tried to pull off was very extensive. It was trying to do a masterful artwork using dirtied, muddy paint and having one arm tied behind your back and being slightly blindfolded. They were going from a level 1 understanding of alchemy to a masterful understanding of alchemy. So to clarify, you were saying that this could be an amateur's attempt to kill someone. Yes. Okay. And would you say that an amateur could find majority of the ingredients to make this type of concoction in the school? The level of poison used. No, you can find substitutes. And with enough, it gets that level, but the Standing Stones portion you cannot find at this school. At least not easily. Would you say that, with your expertise opinion, that these type of ingredients can be found in the black market fairly quickly? Yes. Perhaps within 3 days, with a large number of people gathered in one area. If you're... Yes. What about during Spirit Oasis, where there's known to be lots of trade going on, and lots of people gathered into the capital Guild Choi? Would you say it's very easy to find ingredients? Especially during Spirit Oasis, yes. So, would you say that the poisoning could have been the works of an amateur who found ingredients in Guild Choi and used it to try to kill Chris? That is what the poison could suggest, yes. Then I would like everyone to keep note of that an amateur could have made this poison in attempts to kill Chris. An amateur that we may have among us, as I believe Fred did confess to trying to poison and kill Chris using the food. So I will retract my statement earlier that Barkley could have rushed the poison, but with new evidence brought to light of Fred openly confessing to the poisoning, I believe that Fred made the poison under the manipulation of Barkley. The prosecution rests.
Okay, he's given us something we can counter now. That was good. Cool.
Hey, Toto, I have a question.
Yes.
Is it possible for Beastmasters to manipulate people?
No.
I mean,
I looked into this earlier.
Erwin brought this up earlier solely, but no. We don't have a powerful enough form of manipulation, especially not with one of us, standing there actually doing it. Because technically I can, but I have to be telling my story and they have to be able to hear me and see me at all times.
So, if I'm right, now is when we bring up the fact that during his memory blank, there was.
Sorry, before we go any further and you guys make up points that you need to make up, I need an ability battle with Sully leading it. As we're going to renegotiate part 1 of this.
You got this, Sully.
All right, everyone. You guys can all be included in this because you guys are all still here. So, but Sully's the one leading it because he's the one who made the majority of the arguments. Sully, what abilities do you want to add to this?
So let's see. Persuasion.
Okay.
I have an 8 in that.
Got it.
What skill are you using as your base, Sully? Before
Charisma.
You go too far. Okay.
I already said charisma.
Got it. Charisma, persuasion.
Open your ears, Quinn. You deaf bitch.
What else are you using, Sully?
Let's see. I shouldn't. Part of me wants to do straight talk, but that was a bit of theatrics as well, wasn't it?
You were still telling facts.
Yeah, you were still being honest.
You were still.
You weren't manipulating the truth. Everything you said was according to the
You
truth.
were just saying it in a way that was a little. Yeah, you were just saying it in a way that was a little more dramatic. But everything you said, everything you asked, was fact.
Find the document for socials.
Straight talk is just going to be a +3 because you're using charisma instead of intelligence or wisdom.
1d20, so +8 plus a 3.
Yeah.
So you're at an 11 right now. You got anything else?
Do you guys want to add anything?
I'm looking to plan.
Tunes or last word at you. Last word is good because if our mod is lower than them overall, I get to add 2 abilities that each
Just-
cost 1 TP.
Wait, does Quinn get to add 2 abilities?
Yeah.
Oh.
Quinn's one actually last word. It's Quinn's ability.
Okay, no, yeah,
Yeah.
that's really good then.
Mm-hmm.
So if I use last word and our mod is lower, I can pop on Truthful Tunes and like Fortress or something.
Yeah, no, I think that's good.
2 abilities that cost 1 TP each. Because Charisma is our base.
No, I think that's good.
All right.
It's not as worth it if you're not using a Charisma base because you may as well have just added the 1 TP anyways, but yeah. So I'll do that.
All right. All right. Anything else being added?
Well, only one of us can add something, so.
Yep.
All right, so what did
Oh
you
yeah, I
add?
forgot how much he has now. Basically, it just says fail safe. It doesn't add anything right now. It's a fail safe. All right, so you're gonna take a. You're gonna give yourself a +4 from the audience because you've made a very convincing argument. You're gonna take a -4, and it's gonna actually be you're gonna take a -8 because Mr. Casper is gonna bring in the fact that he is a Dark Tribe, basically just emphasizing all the horrific things that Barkley's just confessed to, just throwing more mud at the wall.
Yeah,
And also the fact that it'll be -4 for Barkley stuff and another -4 because of the fact that Team Wood is very heavily involved in this at this point. So it's hard to know who you can trust with amongst them.
So what I'm hearing is we have a +8, a +3, a +4, a -8, a -4.
No, just a -8. Well, I've only given you a -8 right now.
Okay.
I've given you a +4 from the audience. I give you a -8 from Casper right now.
Okay.
And then Casper's not lying, so he's also actually no. Casper's gonna pull out dealer, and he's gonna give himself a +4 to his roll and give you another -3. So you're looking at a -11 right now.
So total +4.
And then Casper's gonna add his persuasion, which is
And just to make sure, you can only add 1 skill.
yes.
Okay, cool. Because if not, I was gonna do like, oh yeah, then performance,
Then all of them at once.
insight, deception, history,
It's overwhelming.
nature. What does that have to do with anything?
Nature. All right, so 6, and then he said I gave him a +4. So he's gonna be at a +10 in total.
Compared to what we are currently at, which is a +4.
So last word will trigger.
Cool. We'll do Truthful Tunes. So that's a 2d6. And we'll do Bro, we could risk Sweet Talk.
Or you could just go for Fortress if you wanted to.
Who in God's name are you sweet talking?
I don't know. That's the problem. Scars.
So
So we're gonna ignore 3 of those negatives. So essentially,
Boost
Sully
it
give
to a
yourself a
7.
+3.
And then +2d6.
+2d6.
Yeah.
Okay, so wait, wait, what'd you say?
Basically, what's happening is now with the 2 TP that Quinn's added on, you'll be rolling 1d20 +7 +2d6.
+7 +2d6. Okay.
Yeah.
I'll just remove all the small math I've been doing on the corners there.
All right. So we're gonna ready to roll. Anything else we're doing? Any creative sparks? All right, let's roll then. Ooh, that's crazy because I'm gonna coin you. Oh wait, never mind. No, wait, retract, save. Actually, let me think about this more. Dang it, I'm in a bad position.
You're in a very bad spot.
Is this even physically possible? No, it's not.
You would have to coin both.
You'd have to coin
right?
both rolls.
And I don't. Do I have 2 coins right now?
You do have 2. You have exactly 2
it's a
coins.
2v2.
Screw it. I'm using all of my coins.
Shit.
Let's do this. We're trying again. Reroll.
You know what? You don't
You can-
re-roll the d6s.
Yeah, you just roll a 20. Just re-roll the 20. Essentially.
Oh.
10, 4. Yeah, I think I win, right? Do I? Do I?
Yeah, because
10,
we're
Yeah.
18.
Yeah, 18. Victory Royale.
Bad. That went so well for us, and then it didn't.
Thank you. All right. So,
To be fair, James did just use every coin that he has.
Yeah, but I got to activate
I
my
actually have two
card,
coins?
which has never
Yeah, you did.
happened before. So
Oh wait, I still have one coin because you guys only had. I had one. It was 1v3.
No, it was 2v2. It was just
It's 2v2.
it's
Look
Oh, I
red.
see it now. I see
Yeah.
it 2v2 now. I see it now. Okay, my bad. I see where it was when we did the last one.
Yeah.
All right. So with that, you see after the back and forth for a bit, you see the audience have taken what you got, but it looks like they still have taken advantage of the poisoning can still be considered under Barkley's sway. So now we move into bringing in Freda again, unless you guys wanted to. Yeah, because that's been closed off again. Looks like they still are taking that. We're moving back into Fred, unless you want to re-bring in another argument.
No, I don't think we're gonna go touch on the invisibility cloaks again.
How long has it been since Spirit Oasis?
2 weeks.
2 weeks.
2 weeks. No one bothered to ask Jux how long it would take to make a poison of this scale.
No, what my thought
that
is
doesn't matter. How long it takes doesn't matter because
No, but if we remember, Barkley
varies a
said that
lot.
if it was well stored and well kept, it could last 5 months. But that's a very specific, professionally made standing stones. In a place where it can be well kept, maximum security, good conditions, nothing goes wrong, maximum 5 months. But this was a very shittily made standing stone. Very shittily made. How long can you keep that around in a place where you don't know how to? Where do you store something like that?
I will
Here,
go
unless
ahead.
it was with Jux.
I will give you a mechanical argument that one, stability is fickle, and also making alchemy is also fickle. Because it can take you a very long time, or it can take you a very short amount of time. Example: the train Irwin taking forever to make his antidote, and Sully doing it in like an hour.
Yeah.
I went from doing the pursuit theme to suspense because we're now in a corner.
All right.
But if you want to bring up the argument, go ahead.
Well, I mean, I think I just have an easier argument to make.
All right. You guys can reconvene. They're basically the prosecutors also reconvening because they said that you guys threw them off, so they actually are having a brief recess to go over.
I assume,
Hold on.
I'm assuming that he kind of Casper has to tell them his new fury. Like, all right, guys, this is the thing. What I just mentioned. All right. He has to at least rebrief them on that because that was pulled out of thin air.
What do you mean? What do you mean? Casper thought about this for a while now.
Yeah.
And so there's like a good reason why Casper was the only one who worked in that ability battle.
That's not too hard of a point for us to counter.
Sullivan is going to do the Von Karma snap thing before he does an objection.
But not.
Objection!
Basically, all that we have to do to counter that one will just be go through what we were already going to go through, which is the night before, right?
Yeah.
Okay, so very quickly to reiterate, what we're going to do is that night, he didn't have any communication with Barkley before then, from Spirit Oasis to this night, or at least not long enough or whatever to be planning, right? And he did not have the poison nor the cloaks before he went to the bar. During the bar, he blacked out. After the bar, he woke up in the morning with the cloaks and the poison.
And what I'm going to be clarifying is if he believes that Fred made the poison, I would suggest to ask him where he made that. I mean, sorry, not where. When he made the poison. Because Fred has an alibi for nearly all of the time that he was awake. Nearly all the time that he doesn't remember.
Precisely. Now, quick question.
I would also like to point out
What
there's
is-
one big fatal flaw in the prosecution's last argument that Barkley controlled Fred.
No, they've established that it is possible he has a manipulation.
That was Quinn's mess up. They've given a more solid argument that there's possible he could have gotten an item that not using beast magic, but using a magical item that Quinn reinforced the theory that he could have bought one during Spirit Oasis.
Please refer to the last Phoenix Wright GIF I have posted. Actually, wait, give me a second. I'm gonna give you a new reaction. That's Sullivan right now.
So when is the line going to be drawn for when we bring up his conversation with Quartz? Fred's conversation with Quartz. What's the breaking point for that?
It's... If we bring it up, it'll likely be to just solidify that he has an alibi there.
Right, but then it also solidifies that he might... It kind of throws... The thing is that it's a very powerful argument for the fact that he wasn't working with Barkley. That's the strongest thing that does, in my opinion, is solidify the fact that he saw he was getting rid... I mean, not really, because Chris... If they got rid of Chris, it could save Team Wood. So you could twist it like that, I guess. But yeah, I guess we would have to use that just for the alibi.
Because we don't have any means to bring anything up.
Okay.
Can we bring in a fifth member into our council? Carter!
Carter, what the fuck are we doing wrong?
Oh, it's easy.
It's easy.
I do feel like there's something missing here, and I can't think of what it is.
Like something missing to try and pin this on somebody else, or
Just trying to solidify the fact that he didn't
Barkley
have...
wasn't the one doing the manipulating.
Yeah, there has to be something that solidifies the fact that Barkley wasn't the one doing the manipulating. Because whether or not he had... Because they could find an argument that while Barkley was getting the poison, he got the shitty Standing Stone stuff. He was getting the manipulation stuff during Spirit Oasis. He could have gotten the other poisons for it, too. So, him somehow passing it on for him...
I will let you know their current argument is that Barkley manipulated him to make the poison.
yeah, that is their current
him.
argument.
They are basically, because of what Sully said, they've abandoned the idea of Barkley creating the poison because it's too hard to defend or to prosecute. They cannot successfully argue that Barkley has created the poison because Sully made a very tight argument.
I think we go on the train of logic that he didn't have the time unwitnessed during his memory blank to have made the poison.
Okay. So who's taking the lead on this one? Or do we still need to discuss?
I think we might not be able to get into it because of the time.
I was about to cut you guys out, but you can sit and wrap it up. Who's gonna take the lead? We'll wrap it up there.
I can take the lead. I've got some good ideas on this. I might have to write them down so I don't forget them next time, but
All right. Very unorthodox, very chaotic, but I like where this trial's going. Shall we continue then? Defense. Who's leading this time?
I believe that I'll take the lead this time.
Ooh, Arwen's coming back. Let's see if you do a good job. I'm very interested in what Team Wood says next. With that, we're gonna pull the camera back. Actually, we're gonna cut the camera to a Barkley who's staring up at the ceiling of the room, sort of phased out for everything that's going on, seems to be and is lost in his own thoughts. Fred, extremely nervous, rocking back and forth, eyeing someone in the crowd that you guys can't make out. And finally, Team Wood readying their argument to figure out how to get out of this chaotic mess. Hope you guys enjoyed. See you next